A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
And now, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. Voyage, written for suspense by Murray Burnett.
I looked at my watch. It was 6:16, Friday evening. I knew I had exactly 17 minutes before Hank Wilson, the night watchman of the bank, would be somewhere near the front door. I took a quick look around the office, turned the nameplate which said Alex Thompson face down on my desk, and closed the ledger on the Garrison estate for the last time. Then I opened the box containing my new sports jacket, took out the jacket, opened the right-hand drawer of my desk, and proceeded to fill the box with bundles of crisp new banknotes totaling $200,000. I packed them neatly in the box, getting a tremendous surge of satisfaction as each bundle slipped into place. Each bundle represented a neat withdrawal from the Garrison estate, which I was handling for the Intercity Guarantee and Trust Company. A withdrawal which would take them a few months to unravel when I didn't return from my 2-week vacation. I carefully tied the twine around the suit box exactly as it had been tied. As I put on the exceptionally loud sports jacket the box had contained, I glanced again at my watch. Plenty of time. I walked over to the closet door, opened it, and looked at myself in the mirror. I knew it was foolish, but I couldn't resist patting myself on the back. The jacket covered my business suit jacket perfectly. No one could see that I was wearing a jacket over it. And then, satisfied that I had left no loose ends, I closed the closet door, turned, walked to my office door, opened it, and started down the long corridor leading to the street, and escaped for me with $200,000. I looked at my watch again. It was 6:29. I was 4 minutes early, but Hank would be within earshot. I decided I couldn't wait. Hank! Hank! As I heard him start down the corridor toward me, his footsteps kept time with my heart. I had staked everything on my knowledge of Hank Wilson and his habits. But I knew he was supposed to look in the box that I carried under my arm.
In just a moment, we will return for the second act of Suspense. Thirsty people everywhere prefer ice-cold Pepsi-Cola. And because it's light, it refreshes without filling.
Charlie, be sociable.
I am, Kay. Pepsi is a favorite of thirsty people from Maine to Hawaii, from Alaska to Florida.
Charlie.
It's perfect for parties or picnics. So serve Pepsi to your guests.
That's helpful, but...
This is the sociable part. Keep plenty of Pepsi ice cold and ready. Remember, it goes fast because everybody likes Pepsi.
Still sounds more inviting. May I? Be sociable. Look smart. Keep up to date with Pepsi. Drink light, refreshing Pepsi. Stay young and fair. Get in there. Be sociable. Have a Pepsi.
But singing doesn't say, pick up an extra carton of Pepsi today. Better yet, get a case.
You do that.
All through working, Mr. Thompson?
All through, Hank.
All set for your vacation?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the same place you did last year up at the lake.
Same place.
Why Wife and kid, too.
Oh, they're already up there.
I think after 5 years, I'd be able to put my hand on the right key fast, wouldn't you? I see you're in sort of a hurry, too.
Oh, that's all right, Hank. I've got some.
Look, Mr. Thompson, you can't kid me.
What do you mean?
I've been around here too long not to know exactly what goes on. I know how anxious you are to get out of this place and up to the lake.
Well, Hank, I guess I've got to admit that you're right.
I found it. Hey, just a minute.
Yes?
This. What you got it?
What's this? Well, it could be $200,000.
Maybe $1 million.
It could be.
You know the rules.
Oh, yes, I know them. You're supposed to examine every package going out of here.
That's my job. But I've seen your old jacket often enough. Hey, looking at that new one you're wearing blinds me.
No, you still don't approve? Huh?
Look, everybody to his own taste, I always say. That sure is a wild jacket for you, Mr. Thompson.
Well, I'll open it if you want. Let you take a peek at my other jacket.
Oh, you know, I was just kidding. You're okay, Mr. Thompson.
No, whatever you say.
Like I said before, I've been around here too long not to know just what goes on. You're just lucky Bill Hagen isn't on duty tonight.
Oh, don't think I don't know it.
Bill's a stickler for all the rules. I don't have to tell you. You know how old Bill is.
Oh, yes, I know just how he is.
Well, so long, Mr. Thompson. Have yourself a real good vacation.
No, thank you, Hank. I'm sure I will. Now. I walked into the night with a box containing $200,000 under my arm. I looked at my watch, 6:33. Plenty of time. 11 minutes to my apartment in a cab, 10 minutes more to clean up the apartment, pick up my luggage, transfer the money to a special case I had made for it. And even with traffic, not more than 27 minutes to the dock and the steamship Concordia, which was waiting to take me to a brand new and wonderful life.
Attention, please. All ashore that's going ashore.
I looked out over the scene from the very topmost deck of the Concordia, liking everything I saw, thinking that in a very few minutes the city would be lost to view in the little wisps of fog that were already beginning to curl about the deck. And as I looked, Celia came walking down the deck. And as always, when I saw her, she created a moment of excitement. She stood a few feet away from me, and then she said,
Exciting, isn't it? I said, it's exciting, a ship sailing.
It's something to live for a moment like this.
Your first trip?
Yes, very first.
Then I can't ask you if that whistle means we're sailing.
Well, I imagine it's a warning.
I won't believe it until we're actually moving.
No, we will be in a few minutes.
A few minutes. I still can't believe that in only a few minutes those buildings, city, will slide away from us forever.
And you won't be sorry?
No. No. Oh, Alec, darling.
Celia, stay where you are. Will you do as I tell you?
We're alone. There's no one but us here on the deck.
Look, we are not supposed to know each other. We're to meet casually aboard ship. Now, that is the way I've planned it.
I have to know. Is everything all right?
Everything is fine.
You're sure?
Yes, fine. Everything is fine.
But I don't mean just the money. Your wife and son.
Look, I have told you, I have done all that I can for them. Now, that is settled.
And you're not sorry? No regrets?
No regrets. For the past 5 years, I have been mixing up the books of the Garrison estate so that I could take $200,000 in cash and be sure that the cleverest bookkeeper will take months to unravel. So when I made this decision, I worked everything out, every detail perfect. Now, nothing is going to spoil it now.
We're on our way. Just two strangers meeting aboard ship.
Meeting a little prematurely, perhaps.
There's nothing wrong with that. We're talking about the sailing. We don't know each other.
Well, then let's keep it that way, shall we?
All right.
This is strictly a vacation. Now, as soon as we sail, we should arrange about our tables in the dining room.
Aren't we going to sit at the same table?
No. It is care that pays off. It's the little things that can trip you.
All right, Alex. Anything you say.
Celia, I love you. And we are going to have a life that we want. But only if we remember that it is the little things that count, the tiniest little things. It's because I was so careful, so exacting about every detail that we got this far. Because I figured everything out. Because
Alec, what is it?
Oh, no.
Alec, what's wrong?
A little thing, a tiny, stupid little...
What thing? Alec, tell me, please.
What can I do? What can I do?
Alec, what is it?
What?
What's the matter?
What's the matter? I just happened to think of it. Last night at my apartment, I was checking over everything for the last and final time. And I put it down on a piece of scrap paper. And then I threw the paper in the basket.
That paper, what did you put on it?
The cost of our tickets for this trip.
What, only that? You gave me a terrible scare. I couldn't imagine.
You don't understand. They will search my apartment when they find the money missing from the office. They'll search everywhere, and they will find that little piece of paper.
But there are only numbers on it. No one will know what they mean.
The police will. They will figure out exactly what those numbers mean. The price of 2 one-way trips to France.
By that time, we'll be safe.
No, not as safe as I'd planned. As soon as they find out that we went to France, they are halfway to us. According to my figuring, it would have taken them a month to know that we went first to France. Now that piece of paper ruins
That could be wrong, Alec. Maybe you forgot. Maybe you tore it up or burnt it.
No. It's in that basket. Why did I do such a stupid thing? A little thing like that, just a rotten little thing.
Attention, all passengers. Due to the fog, the sailing has been delayed 3 hours.
Alec, are you...
Any passenger wishing to go ashore may do so, but must be back aboard at least 1 hour before sailing time.
2 hours.
No, Alec.
2 hours.
Please.
Hey, look.
Don't try it, Alec, please.
Why not? I can get that paper and be back here before...
wrong.
It couldn't be more right for us. 2 hours. Plenty of time. 2 hours. Celia, I am just going to the apartment, and I'll be right back.
In a moment, we will return for the third act of Suspense. Now here's Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
Bergen, why did you stop the car here?
I want to talk to that farmer. Oh, mister.
Oh, you call me?
Why, Mortimer Snurd.
Oh, where? Oh, that's me.
Are there any General Motors dealers around here?
No, but we got some Chevrolet, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Buick, and Cadillac dealers, though, and some Chevy and GMC truck dealers, too.
Well, Mortimer, those are all General Motors dealers.
No! Well, what do you want to see them all for?
Well, I only want to see one for guardian maintenance.
Do they make that car, too?
No, that's a service that's available only at General Motors dealers' service departments.
Oh, I see.
Yes. And right now, they're featuring complete lubrication, quality appearance services, brake adjustments, and front-end inspections. It's quality work performed by GM-trained servicemen at a fair price.
Well, that makes good sense even to me.
I was lucky. Everything worked as planned. I congratulated myself for not throwing away the keys to my apartment when I left. I was going to reserve that pleasure until we were far out at sea. I opened the door, and as soon as I did, I knew that something was wrong. The light was on.
Oh, hello, Alex. Well, what's the matter, Alex? You look... Why, you're absolutely white. Were you frightened because all the lights were on?
Helen,
Are you all right, dear?
all right? Yes. Well, what are you doing here? Why...
I left Ted with some friends at the lake. Thought I'd keep you company in the trip up there tomorrow. This is a surprise, isn't it, Alex?
Yes, Helen, it is quite a surprise.
You sure you're all right?
Yes.
There's nothing wrong.
Look, when you stop asking me the same thing over and over, I'm all right. There's nothing wrong. I'm all right.
You don't have to shout, Alex. Well, why are you looking at your watch?
I am not shouting. I just didn't expect to find you here, that's all.
You sound like you're sorry.
Believe me, it's not that.
Then what?
Well, Helen, you shouldn't have left Ted up at the lake alone. You ought to get on the next train going back there.
Ted's in good hands.
With strangers.
Friends, I told you, George and Edna Summers. Now, you know how fond they are of Ted.
Just the same.
Oh, you're such a worrier. Concerned about the littlest thing.
Well, you can't be too careful.
Ted's all right. Will you stop worrying about him? When we get up to the lake tomorrow, you'll see.
Helen.
Yes?
Helen, I'm not going up with you tomorrow.
What?
You'll have to go without me.
Well, then there is something wrong. Now, what is it, Al?
Well, I haven't got all night to stand here and answer ridiculous questions.
Look, now, maybe you'll feel better after a cup of coffee. I've got some on the
No, I don't want it. Yes. Yes, Helen, maybe you're right. Coffee would be a good idea, I guess. I had an idea now. It would take her a little while to prepare the coffee. At least she was out of the room. I went right to my desk, got the waste paper basket underneath it, and started to look through it. It wasn't there. I looked at my watch again. It was still all right. I had an hour, but time was getting close. And while I was still looking through the basket, Helen came back.
Alec, what are you doing?
Did you take something out of this basket?
No. Now, here's your coffee. Well, what are you looking for?
Only for a piece of paper with figures on it. You sure you didn't see it around?
Positive. Now, what can be so important about a piece of paper?
Because it's important. Wait a minute. Here it is, under the desk.
That's what you wanted?
Yes.
Oh, thank goodness. Now, maybe you'll sit down and have your coffee and tea.
What?
Well, why do you keep looking at your watch?
I have an appointment.
Alec, I want to know what's going on.
Nothing is going on. I just didn't expect you home, so I made an appointment.
I don't mean just that. You said you're not going up to the lake tomorrow. Well, why? And that piece of paper you were so frantic about. Alec, what is it?
All right, Helen, all right. I guess I might as well tell you everything now. There is something going on. It's the office.
But you're on vacation.
Well, it's 8:20, and I have an appointment.
With whom?
With a man who's talking about going into the investment business with me, and I'm supposed to spend the weekend with him at his place out on the island.
Never mentioned this before.
Well, it's a deal that I've been working on for a long time. I didn't want to say anything until it was all set.
You wanted to surprise me?
Yes. I've been on edge about it, too. That's why I was upset when I found you here.
And the piece of paper?
They're confidential figures that I needed.
Well, I won't say I'm not disappointed, but if this deal means so much...
It means everything. My one big chance. If this falls through, I'll never have another. I know that. If I fail now, I'll be stuck the rest of my life. And, Helen, look, just in case I don't get up to the lake by Monday, don't you worry.
But you said the weekend.
Well, it may take longer. I sent you a letter up at the lake telling you all about it. You would have gotten it in the morning. I didn't want you to think that something had happened to me when I didn't show up tomorrow.
But, Alec...
Helen, trust me. Believe me.
Well, why shouldn't I trust...
Helen. I absolutely cannot be late.
I'll get it.
No, let me. Hello. I'm just leaving. Yes, I found it. No, there's nothing to worry about.
Who is it?
Oh, that's right, Mr. Sanders. I'll be there on time. I'm sorry to rush out, darling, but believe me, this is vital. I was out. I was on the street. I had over 50 minutes to get to the boat. The telltale slip of paper was in my pocket. There was no cab around. Right next door was a bar. Would I have time for a drink? I needed one. I looked in. There was only one other customer. That was perfect. I went in. Brandy, please, and I'm in a hurry.
Okay, bud.
Now, what do I owe you?
90 cents.
Now, keep the change. Thanks.
Just a second,
Now,
fella.
excuse me, but
Close you. Get your hands on the bar. You guessed it. It's a sticker.
Now, look, I've got to get out of here. Take my money, but let me go.
The guy with the gun gives the orders, pal. Relax and hand over your wallet.
All right, but just give me money for cab fare.
You're nervous.
Please give me a break.
I'm giving it to you. You ain't hurt? Now, both of you, take off your pants.
What?
Don't give me no trouble. Off with your pants and lay down on the floor. I don't want to be in no hurry when I walk out of here.
Now, listen, please, listen to me. You've got to listen to me. I am sailing to Europe. Look. Now, look, here is my passport. I have to make a boat.
This is one boat you're going to miss, pal.
I can't. Now, look, how much did you make it here? $200?
Not as good as that. You only have 70 in your wallet.
Well, I'll give you $1,000.
What?
I swear it. I will give you $1,000 if you'll just come to the boat with me.
How do I know you're on the level?
Now, here, you can hold my passport. Now, here, take it. But please, let's get out of here and get a cab. I have got to make that boat.
$1,000?
I promise you. But we have got to get there before the boat sails, or else I won't have the money.
Okay, pal. You got a deal.
In just a moment, we will return for the concluding act of Suspense.
Munch bunch of Fritos, corn chips.
You know, that's a favorite occupation these summer days, munching Fritos corn chips. There's nothing else like them. No other kind of chip that can match Fritos' crisp, refreshing flavor. Fritos are made to munch, by the bagful or with salads, sandwiches, and long, tall drinks. They have just the right taste and texture contrast to make good food or iced drinks taste even better. Children love them, and they're a really healthful, nourishing between-meal snack in summer. Grown-ups find there's contentment in every munch of Fritos corn chips. Their special flavor is really satisfying. Get a bag today. Fritos. Fritos corn chips.
Munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips. It's not polite to smack your lips, but you can't help it with Fritos corn chips. Munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips.
We walked out of the bar. The man with the gun wouldn't run. I looked at my watch. 46 minutes. Well, there was plenty of time. Half hour to the boat, the most. And there'd be time to get him on board, give him his 1,000, get rid of him. I even began to enjoy the situation. It wasn't likely that he'd report anything to the police. Well, we made good time. And then we were in my stateroom.
Okay, pal. Where is it?
It's right here. I'll get it for you. Have to open this bag.
Never mind. Just hand me the bag.
What?
I said just hand me the bag.
But you want the $1,000? It's in here. I have to take it out and get
I'll take your word for it, pal. Just hand over the bag.
Look, wait a minute. You can't take it.
Listen, pal. That whistle will blow. It'll cut the sound of any shot. Now, are you going to give me the bag?
Right here. Here it is.
Thanks, pal. You're being real smart. On Voyage.
All right, get me the purser, quickly. Hurry. Who is it?
Me, Celia.
Well, come in.
What is it? What happened? I heard voices in here. What are you doing on the phone?
Nothing. I'm not doing anything on the phone.
Who was the man in here with you?
A hold-up.
Hold up, man.
Yes. He took the $200,000.
But you were going to stop him. You were going to call...
Yes, I was, but how do I do it? Do I tell the purser or the captain that there's $200,000 in cash in the bag that man is taking off the ship? No, Celia, we're trapped.
We're moving, Alex.
Now, what's the difference? We're not going anywhere.
Suspense.
You've been listening to Bon Voyage, written for Suspense by Murray Burnett. In a moment, the names of our players and a word about next week's story of Suspense.
Hi, this is Dennis James. Say, remember way back when this melody was popular? There's something very special about a long-time favorite, isn't there? Well, folks feel the same way about one of Kellogg's favorites, Kellogg's All Brand. Going on 41 years now, it's been America's most popular good food way to fight irregularity from lack of bulk. Because it's whole brand, Kellogg's All Brand gentles away irregularity safely and reliably. And because it's deep toasted for extra crispness, it never gets mushy in milk. There's only one All Brand, Kellogg's All Brand. That's ALL-BRAN. Kellogg's All Brand.
Featured in tonight's story were Bob Reddick as Alec and Rita Lloyd as Celia, with Mary Moore as Helen, and Joseph Julian, Dan Ocko, and Alan Manson. Listen again next week when we return with Reports from a Dead Planet by George Bamber, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. The Kingston Trio next, followed by CBS News, then Have Gun Will Travel on CBS Radio.
The Kingston Trio sings for 7-Up.
Nothing does it like 7-Up, 7-Up. Nothing does it like 7-Up, 7-Up. Nothing else can do what it does for you. Nothing does it like 7-Up.
Hi, Kingstons.
Howdy, Ken.
Say, Dave, I hear you've got a great collection of modern paintings at home.
Well, Gretchen and I think they're great, Ken. Why?
Well, I thought maybe you'd give me your opinion of this. I painted it myself.
Wow. How?
Well, Dave?
Ken, I can't believe you did this. At least not on purpose. Looks like a delinquent fried egg.
It's a still life.
Still? It's dead. I can honestly say I've never seen anything like this before.
Well, I'm glad you feel that way, Dave, because, Dave, old boy, it's all yours.
Congratulations. Before he gets around to us, fellas, let's sing.
Tis time we remember that only 1 hour more and I must go to the hills of Sierra del Prado for the glory of our Mexico. Oh, Adelita, promise you'll remember the happy hours that now have long gone by. Oh, Adelita, we'll share these tender moments. Adelita, it hurts me when you cry. Adelita, the time is here to leave you. Once again now I'll kiss away your tears. In my heart I will hold you forever, and our love, it will live through the years. Oh, Adelita, promise you'll remember the happy hours that now have long gone by. Oh, Adelita, we'll share these tender moments. Adelita, it hurts me when you cry.
An artist's life isn't easy. I bury myself in my work.
Ken, I think you're burying the wrong thing, boy.
I get dry and thirsty.
Then what do you do, Ken? Yeah, then what do you do, Ken?
I follow this advice.
Take a thirsty man and serve him 7-Up. When he wants a fresh, clean taste, just serve him 7-Up. Noon or night, 7-Up is right. A quick, refreshing lift. We're thirsty now, but don't be thirsty long. 7-Up.
And a thirsty man can tell you, outside eating takes on extra pleasure when you serve 7-Up. It can be hot dogs on the grill, hamburgers on the broiler, or charcoal cooking that's really extra fancy. 7-Up just plain makes them all taste better. That's because 7-Up sharpens up your taste buds. Trout fresh from a stream, backyard barbecue, picnic at the beach. 7-Up is the greatest outdoor eating companion you can take along. So pure and wholesome, everyone can enjoy it regardless of age. When you're planning a cookout, include plenty of 7-Up. You'll agree, nothing does it like 7-Up. And this is Ken Carpenter, inviting you to join us regularly when the Kingston Trio sings for 7-Up.
This is the CBS Radio Network. Remember, when you pay for 7-Up, make sure you get real 7-Up. This is WRW in Albany, New York.
When it's time to have fun, have slick. Know the real joy of good living. Have slick. Nothing adds more pleasure to the file of a backyard barbecue than Schlitz. Refreshing Schlitz.
Hamburgers broiling on the charcoal grill. Potatoes roasting in the coals. Good food, good friends. And, of course, cool, refreshing Schlitz.
To make a beer so truly fine takes knowing how to do it. More than choice ingredients, it's all in the way you brew it.
With just a kiss of the heart.
The beer that made Milwaukee famous.
Know the real joy of good living. Have fun. Move up to Schlitz.
The Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company, Milwaukee, and others.
And now, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Report from a Dead Planet. Written for Suspense by George Bamber.
Oh, Dr. Siddons. What are you doing here?
Oh, I might well ask you the same thing.
Well, I couldn't sleep. I'd close my eyes, and then I'd think, Jeffries, old man, tomorrow you make history. One of the first men to set foot on an inhabitable planet. And then the next thing I'd know, my eyes would pop open, and I'd be staring up in the darkness.
So you came up here to have another look at it, huh?
How did you know?
I'm afraid buck fever isn't restricted to the young.
Oh, gosh. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Just look at it. How it hangs out there in space. Motionless. Like a huge ball or a giant pearl. Kind of luminescent gray. It's rich against the blackness of space. The light of the stars. Red, green, against yellow, black.
Look here on the radar. The land masses show up quite clearly now through the cloud layer.
Well, Doctor, it's almost water.
Mm-hmm. More than 3/4 of X-37J surface is covered with water.
Well, you think the land will be firm enough to set down on?
As dry as the land at home.
Attention!
At ease. Dr. Siddons, I was just going to send for you.
What's up?
I don't know. I just got a report from the con that the Van Allen belt for this planet is about 50 times more intense than they anticipated. Oh, well, here, let's see. Yes, I see. The radiation's about 50 times above normal. The ship okay? Oh, yes. Our hull is designed to withstand 100 times that. So what do you make of it? Well, I don't know. It's not normal for this large a concentration of radiation to be in the magnetic field around the planet.
You mean somebody would have had to put it there?
Oh, well, I didn't say that. But it is possible that it was put there to act as a barrier to incoming rocket ships, right? Yes, it is possible.
Well, then that means there's life here.
No, not necessarily. Of course, we know this planet is capable of supporting life. That's why we're going to explore it. But to jump to the conclusion that it is intelligent life and hostile to our exploration is not only unscientific, it's completely unfounded at this point. But maybe that the intense presence of radiation in the Van Allen belt of this planet might be due to natural causes, ones we hadn't anticipated. But whether there are people down there, such as ourselves, is something we can't possibly say until we've landed. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to sensitize the ship's defense system and post orders for the landing party to carry their weapons. Yes, it's a wise precaution. Now, in the meantime, it's 5 hours till touchdown. I suggest you gentlemen get some sleep while you can. I have a feeling you're going to need it once we land.
150,000 feet from touchdown. Rate of fall, 0660.
Well, so far, so good.
145 from touchdown. Rate of fall.
If they had any anti-rocket devices, they would have sent them up by now. We're well into their atmosphere.
Yes.
Unless they're planning some kind of trap, letting us land so they can capture us intact once we're on the ground. If there's anybody down there. We've been monitoring the radio frequency since last night, and there hasn't been a sound. Whatever life is down there, I'm sure we'll be able to handle.
110,000 feet from touchdown. Rate of fall.
I see you're keeping to the edge of the landmass.
Yes. I want you to be able to get your ocean samples without a lot of traveling.
Well, may I suggest you set down where that large river empties into the sea? That way I can take fresh water samples as well. You see there, on that peninsula?
You think that's big enough?
I make it to be about 2 miles wide. Plenty of room for us. Jenkins, what's the spectrographic reading for that peninsula?
Solid mineral. Granite-like composition.
It should support us.
Well, it's not a peninsula, sir. It's an island. You see, here? How the river cuts around it at the north end, cutting it off from the main body of land?
Yes. Well, that makes it all the better. It's small enough, surrounded by water on 4 sides. Makes it easier to defend if there are hostile people down there.
100,000 feet from touchdown. Rate of fall, 0790.
Collins, set a course for that island.
Aye, aye, sir.
Dr. Siddons.
Yes?
There's something funny about that island. Look, here on the spectrograph.
Well, what is it?
Well, look how the whole thing shows up gray. Solid rock. Except for this patch of green, the only spot on the whole island.
There's nothing unusual about that. It merely indicates vegetation covering the minerals. Grass or trees.
Yes, but why this one spot? And why so perfectly oblong? Look, the sides of it are laid out square as a parade ground.
Yeah, he's right, you know, Doctor. Nature couldn't lay out anything as geometric as that. It has to be man-made.
You don't suppose it's some sort of sacred ground, a place for a religious ceremony?
Well, Lieutenant, let's not let superstition run away with our better judgments.
But look, Dr. Siddons, the whole island's cross-hatched into squares. And that green patch is the only unmarked place on it.
I don't know, sir. Maybe it isn't the best place to land. The island has been definitely marked up by an intelligence of some sort.
80,000 feet from touchdown. Rate of fall.
Well, we're too far down to blast up again. I can't waste the fuel.
Captain.
Yes?
The altimeter is giving me a hodgepodge of readings for that island. The only level place on it is that green patch of ground.
Maybe we should try to land on either side of the river on the mainland.
Well, that's cross-hatched just as bad as the island is. Now, whatever that patch of ground is, sacred ground or what, we're going to be in the middle of it. Set your sights for the south end of that green, Collins. Man your battle stations, men. We're taking her in. Well, gentlemen, we made it. A new world. Keep your eyes open. See any movement? No, sir.
Ooh. Looks like we've landed in the middle of a huge graveyard. What are they, Dr. Siddons? Monuments?
No. They're too big for that. No, I imagine they're dwelling places of some sort. See all those little squares they cut in them? They must be windows.
Wow. And there's no question that there are creatures on this planet.
No.
Well, then where is everybody?
Yes, that's a very good question. Well, I would say that they were scared away by the roar and blast of our landing rockets. And I would say that they evacuated this place when they saw us coming, and that they're waiting for us to get on the ground where they can attack us.
Well, what are we going to do?
The only thing we can do. Obviously, they aren't coming to us. We go to them. Let's suit up. Be ready to leave the ship by 0800.
And every man carry his assigned weapon.
We're on the deck now, Collins. So we're spread out in a defensive perimeter. You are in complete charge of the ship.
Aye, aye, sir.
Now, no one is allowed to re-enter the ship without the proper password, no matter what the circumstances. And if for any reason you think things have gone wrong, you are to blast off and make your report to home. You understand that?
Aye, aye, sir.
Very good. Have you made your readings, Doctor? Yes, sir. It's just as we predicted from home. Though the ground radiation level is a little bit higher than we anticipated. Here, you can see for yourself. That dangerous? Oh, it's more than safe for us. There's no reason why we can't get out of these suits and walk around the same as at home. Unless there's the presence of a gas we don't know about. Yes, that's true. I need a volunteer. Oh, Captain, I would like to volunteer. No, not you, Dr. Siddons. You're too valuable to the expedition. I can't let you do that. Well, there's no danger. You said yourself. Please, Captain. You were the first person to set foot on this new world. I'd like to be the first to breathe its air. Well, all right, Doctor. But be careful.
Come on in, boys. The water's fine.
Hey, you hear that, Collins? We got it made.
All right. Knock it off. This is a military reconnaissance, not a picnic. Well, there's life on this planet. But until we make contact with it, it's the enemy. Lieutenant Jeffries. Yes, sir. We'll take the doctor and 2 men and reconnoiter to the east as far as the river. I'll go as far as the West River. And when you get through, double back here. Yes, sir.
There's a million pair of eyes staring back at us. What do you suppose they look like?
I don't know. I haven't any idea.
It's weird. Hunting for creatures and you don't know what they look like.
Yes.
Well, I guess we could lay here forever. Wouldn't do any good. We're going to find them. We're going to have to get them.
Such crude dwellings. They must have lived absolutely one on top of the other.
Any volunteers to go with me?
I'll go with you.
All right. Now, the rest of you stay here. Keep us covered. If anything happens, don't be afraid to shoot into us. Doc. When I give the word, we'll run across the street. And don't stop until we come to that wall. First building, you got it?
Yes, right.
Now, so far, so good?
Yes. Just above your head.
Huh?
There's one of the windows. But it's filled with plastic.
I'll see if I can break it.
No, you can't shatter plastic. What? There's nothing but glass. Old-fashioned glass.
Yeah. Hello in there. Anybody home?
Move along the wall. There's a doorway up ahead, I think.
It's unlocked.
Push it open with your weapon. Carefully.
Hello in there. Anybody home?
Move in cautiously. And keep your eyes open.
Hey, there's one.
Stop! That's an effigy of some sort. See, it isn't living. It's a statue of some kind. See? It's made out of some sort of alloy.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You suppose that's what they look like?
Well, I imagine so. Animals aren't given to making statues of themselves.
Such ugly-looking creatures. You suppose that's its head?
Yes. And you see, these must be the arms, and these are clearly the legs.
Well, look how close together the eyes are placed. And the spindly legs. Ugh. I hope we don't run into one.
I don't think we will.
What do you mean?
Not in this city, at least. Here, look at the gray dust on the floor. It's almost 2 inches thick.
Yeah.
I noticed the same thing in the street. Now, if there are any of these monstrosities left, they aren't here. This city hasn't been used for a long, long time. Maybe 1,000 years.
Lieutenant Jeffries reporting, sir.
All right, go ahead, Lieutenant.
We've completed the 1,000-mile inland reconnaissance as your instruction, sir.
And you found?
Nothing. No life of any sort.
Not a thing?
Just miles and miles of twisted, stunted vegetation and a couple more of those huge radioactive burns, such as we found 100 miles south and west of here.
Collins, your receivers picked up anything yet?
No, sir. We've been monitoring all frequencies every day since we've been here. Not a sound. Nothing but random radio interference from outer space.
What about the television satellites we sent up?
Well, they've covered the surface of this planet 100 times, sir. Not a sign of movement anywhere.
Well, Dr. Siddons, what do you make of it?
Well, it would be unethical for me to venture an opinion at this time.
Come now, Doctor, come now. You must have some idea. For the past 10 days, you've been doing nothing but nosing around these old ruins. You must have drawn some conclusions.
Well, now, this is only my opinion, mind you. We won't know until all the facts are in. But as we know, this planet was at one time inhabited by living creatures much like ourselves, no matter how repulsive they may appear to us. They were biped, carnivores, and possessed a certain amount of intelligence.
Well, what happened to them?
Well, in order to understand what happened to them, you have to understand the people themselves. Now, as I've said, they were very primitive and very superstitious. True, they had advanced from the Stone Age to the threshold of nuclear energy, but culturally and morally, they hadn't gotten much beyond the Iron Age.
So, then they discovered the tremendous power of nuclear energy.
Yes, exactly. The very first use they made of it was to blow a couple million of their fellow creatures off the face of the planet.
What savages.
But they didn't destroy everything. The city's still standing.
Well, as far as I can figure out, it didn't hold any military targets.
Then what happened to the people in it?
They were killed off by radiation.
It's still radioactive. Why didn't the radiation kill us off?
Well, because, for one thing, it's cooled off considerably since then. And for another thing, we're used to it. They never had a chance.
Well, that's it. We have enough to make a report when we get back. Blast off is at 1800 hours tonight. Get everything tied down and ready. That's all, gentlemen.
You were able to crack their language, Doctor?
No, I wasn't able to. My computers were. Fortunately, it was a relatively simple task.
Doctor? What did they call this place?
What, you mean the planet? The civilization?
No. I mean this island, this city, or whatever it was.
Oh, well, of course it was a proper name, so it's meaningless to us, but I can reproduce the sounds as they made them. They called this place New York.
Suspense.
You've been listening to Report from a Dead Planet, written for Suspense by George Bamber. heard in tonight's story were Bill Mason as Lieutenant Jeffries, Les Damon as Dr. Siddons, John Larkin as the captain, and Phil Meader as Collins. Listen again next week when we return with Memorial Bridge by William N. Robeson. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. The Kingston Trio next, followed by the latest CBS News and Have Gun Will Travel on CBS Radio.
And now, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Memorial Bridge, written for suspense by William N. Robeson.
It is officially called the Blackstone Overpass. But to me, it'll always be the Clara Adams Memorial Bridge, in tender memory of my late, unlamented, and mysteriously departed wife. Clara was not smarter than I was. She was just older and richer. And she never gave me an opportunity to forget it.
That you, Charlie?
Yes, dear.
What kept you?
I stopped by the overpass job.
You said you'd be home early.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to check on things over there. They're ready to pour the cement for the main bridge piers tonight.
That's nice.
Nice.
Yes, but it has nothing to do with the
She
fact
was
that you
wound
said
up.
you'd be home early.
She'd been building up this head of steam all day. And when she got like this, there was nothing to do but let her run down. I'd heard it all before, so I went into my room, washed up, and got into some comfortable clothes. When I'd finished, I joined her in the kitchen. She was still at it.
Charlie Adams. First you marry me and my money, and that sets you in business. Then you get John Ferran for a partner. Why, he's forgotten more about the construction business than you'll ever know. Yes, you're a lucky man, Charlie. Where would you be without my money and John's brains?
What are you doing in the kitchen?
It's Thursday.
Oh, maid's day off, huh?
That's right.
Nobody home but us, huh?
Uh-huh, that's right, Charlie. Just you and me in our little honeymoon cottage. Scared, lover boy?
Scared?
But don't be. I won't expect you to act like a husband.
Why do you hate me?
Hate you? Oh, I don't hate you. Hate is an emotion. I don't feel anything for you.
Yeah, I know. Why? You got what you wanted, a husband, as you like to remind me, bought and paid for. Where do I fail you?
Shut up and hand me that spider.
Spider?
That iron skillet. Tonight, the steak is going to be fried the way I like it. Well done.
Hey, it's heavy.
Of course it's heavy. It's cast iron.
Must weigh 5 or 6 pounds. Need 2 hands to manipulate it properly.
Stop swinging it like that and put it on the stove.
Too bad you don't hate me, Clara. Because I hate you.
Now stop it, I say.
It's too bad you don't feel anything for me, Clara.
Now stop it.
Couldn't you feel any emotion, Clara, before you die?
Oh.
Not even fear? You did, Clara. I believe you did. I believe you were scared. Just a little bit, weren't you? One doesn't kill every day of the week. It is, for most of us, a unique, once-in-a-lifetime experience. So a state of mild shock is to be expected. Shallow breathing, things slightly out of focus. A strange kind of logic operating, such as something unpleasant in the house. Get rid of it, stuff it into the back of the car, and get it out of the house. And somehow you find yourself out of the house and driving the car down the parkway without quite knowing why you're there or where you're going. And then, slowly, like in a dream, like it was happening to somebody else, you hear a siren somewhere. You look into the rear vision mirror, and you see the flashing red light. And there's nothing else to do but pull over to the curb.
In just a moment, we will return for the second act of Suspense.
Get the really light refreshment. This is where I talk, Kay. Get the really light refreshment. That's Pepsi-Cola, of course.
I just wanted to say be sociable, Charlie.
Of course, Kay. Be sociable. Have a Pepsi on the road or at home. It always refreshes without filling.
Charlie.
Pick up extra cartons now. Pepsi is so delicious it goes fast. That's why you should keep plenty of Pepsi on hand.
Oops. Maybe I'd better sing.
Be sure to say keep Pepsi handy.
Yes, Charlie. But the song says it sociably.
Be sociable, not smart. Keep up to date with Pepsi. Drink light, refreshing Pepsi. Stay young and fair and debonair. Be sociable, have a Pepsi.
What Kay means is get plenty of Pepsi next time you shop.
Well, yes.
What is it, officer? What did I do wrong? I'm sure I wasn't speeding.
No, you're okay. But I just noticed the lid to your trunk's come unfastened. I'll fix it for you.
Oh, no. Don't bother. I'll do it myself. Need the key, probably. And there, under the friendly and helpful gaze of the officer, I fought to close the trunk lid of my car. And Clara fought back. Even in death, she fought me. In obstinate death, she lay in that luggage compartment and defied me to close the lid.
Looks like you got it packed too full.
Yeah, maybe I have it that. Yeah, that does it. Thanks, officer. Thanks. Evening, boss. Evening, Jerry. I thought I'd drop back and see how the concrete work's coming. Well, we've poured 2 piers of the overpass bridge so far. We'll do this next one as soon as the men have had some chow. Mixer's right in position, I see. Yeah, she's all ready to go. Oh, you're doing a good job, Jerry. If you're running the night shift, I think we'll have this job finished ahead of time. That's what I'm aiming for, boss. Oh, by the way, did I tell you? There's $100 in it for you for every day you bring it in ahead of schedule. Oh, well, thanks, boss. The Blackstone Overpass. It's hard to believe that a few months from now, this confusion of dirt mounds and concrete pillars will be carrying 1,000 cars an hour on an 8-lane roadway over the heads of another 1,000 or so cars an hour going the opposite way. Listen to me philosophizing and keeping you from your supper. Go on down to the shack with the gang and get your chow. Well, if it's all right with you, Mr. Adams. Oh, sure it is. Run along. All right, then, I'll do that. I'm a little hungry. Sure you are. Jerry. Yes, sir. You say this pier is ready to be poured?
Yes, sir. The mixer's in position. We'll be pouring after we eat. Would you like to wait around and watch?
I might do that, Jerry. And he was gone. Down the slope of dirt fill to the construction shack where the rest of the night shift was having their food. And I was alone with Clara on the Blackstone Overpass. But not quite alone. Behind me, the concrete mixer kept chunking away, turning slowly, agitating with elephantine thoroughness its huge load of pebbles and cement and sand. Tons of it. Enough of it to fill the forms of a bridge pillar 30 feet high. It was in position, Jerry had said, and all it was needed to dump its contents into the waiting form was a pull on a lever. Of course. Perfect. The perfect resting place for Clara. Here, her obstinate strength could do some good. She could hold up the Blackstone Overpass. It was a matter of seconds to unlock the trunk of the car. The construction shack was out of sight. It was dark. I was alone. I dragged the bony and stiff body of my ex-wife to the edge of the wooden forms and toppled her over the side. A yank at the lever. And that was the end of Clara forever and ever. And while the form was filling and the bridge pier taking shape,
it first occurred to me that the Blackstone Overpass had now become the Clara Adams Memorial Bridge. I went home to a quiet house, and the first peaceful night's sleep I'd had in years. Next morning, as I took my time over coffee and toast, I planned my next move. Clara's disappearance must be established, but how? Well, the surest way of launching a piece of gossip is to confide in a friend, especially a married friend. So I took my partner, John Ferran, to lunch, and I played distraught, distant, and preoccupied through 3 pre-prandial martinis.
What's the matter with you today, Charlie?
Huh?
You don't seem to be here. You're not with it. Something bothering you?
Oh, no, nothing special.
Ah, come on, Charlie. Don't try to kid Pappy.
John, can you keep a secret?
Why, sure. You know me, pal.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't want this to get any further.
My lips are sealed.
A thing like this is embarrassing to talk about, and I wouldn't want it to be general knowledge.
Well, fire away, pal. I'm all ears.
John, I'm worried about Clara.
What's the matter? Is she giving you a bad time?
Oh, no. You know how it is with Clara and me. I'm her ever-loving honey lamb, and she's my little lump of sugar.
I may be sick.
Yeah. Well, that's the way she wants it, and that's the way it's going to be.
I got to hand it to you, Charlie. You've been a model husband. And frankly, I don't see how you do it.
What do you mean?
Well, Clara isn't the easiest of women to get along with, from what I've seen.
Well, we all have our shortcomings, John. Only
what?
You promise you won't breathe this to a soul?
I already promised.
All right. John, it's this. Clara's disappeared.
What?
Yeah. Gone. Vanished into thin air.
When?
I don't know. Sometime yesterday. She wasn't home when I got in last night.
No note? Nothing like that?
No, nothing.
Had you had an argument with her?
No, everything was peaches and cream, as she'd say.
Maybe she went visiting her family.
She hasn't got any family.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Well, how about her friends?
What friends? The ones who warned her against marrying me. He's only after your money, Clara. Don't say I didn't warn you, Clara. Friends. I wouldn't give them the satisfaction of knowing that my wife walked out on me.
How do you know she's walked out?
Well, I don't, but that's the way they'd interpret it.
Don't you think you'd better report this to the police?
I just said I don't want to be a laughing stock, didn't I?
Yeah, but
report it to the police. It gets in all the papers.
Yeah. Oh, well, I wouldn't worry, Charlie. She's okay. She's just on a little trip or something. She'll be back safe and sound and sooner than you expect.
You think so, John?
Sure, I know so. Don't you worry.
I'll try not to. It's funny. I feel better just talking to you about it.
Sure you do.
Only remember, John, this is just between you and me. Don't breathe a word of it. Promise, pal?
I promise, pal.
Yeah, it was all over town, and thoroughly established that Clara had vanished sometime Tuesday. John's wife had done her job well. A little too well. Yes?
Mr. Adams?
Yes?
Lieutenant Watson, Police Department. May I come in?
Why, yes, certainly, Lieutenant. Please do.
Thank you.
Won't you sit down? I think you'll find that chair over there comfortable.
Thank you.
Well, now, what can I do for you?
Not from the Missing Persons Bureau. We've got to report your wife is missing.
Well, yes, in a way.
What do you mean, in a way?
Well, she isn't here, and I don't know where she is. Yes, I guess you could say she's missing.
How long has she been missing?
A little over a week. A week ago, Tuesday.
How come you didn't make a report to the police?
Well, I don't know. Each day that went by, I expected to hear from her.
Only you didn't.
That's right.
Any idea where she could have gone to?
If I did, I'd go find her, wouldn't I?
Yeah, I guess you would. Just walked out, did she?
I guess so. She didn't take a car, and she didn't take a cab.
How do you know?
Well, I checked the cab companies.
Oh. Well, you got to admit, it looks kind of suspicious.
Does it?
Mind if I look over the house?
Wouldn't do me much good if I did, would it?
Not much.
Well, it'd be my guess. Of course, he found nothing. There was nothing to find. But this didn't stop Lieutenant Watson. Failing to find any evidence of foul play in the house, he sought to find reason for it elsewhere. He dug into my background and Clara's background, and he came up with an interesting theory which happened to be the truth.
Mr. Adams, I think you killed your wife.
Indeed? Why would I do such a thing, Lieutenant?
The usual motives, money.
Oh?
Mm-hmm. You married her for her money. You insured her heavily. Of course, you can't collect on that until you prove she's dead.
And you can't accuse me of killing her until you prove she's dead.
Oh, I'm quite aware of that. Nevertheless, I'm convinced you did it.
How, Lieutenant?
I don't know, but don't suppose you'd tell me, huh?
Spoil all your fun. You're reconstructing the crime.
Yeah, that's just it. I'll have to admit to you there's no evidence of a crime. Mrs. Adams has just vanished, that's all.
So, without any evidence of a crime, why not assume that there isn't any?
But people don't just vanish.
My wife did.
Not without help.
You'd have to prove that.
I know.
And you can't?
Frankly, no.
Then may I suggest you go away and leave me alone?
All right, Mr. Adams, but with me, out of sight is not out of mind.
What do you mean?
Murder, it is said, will out.
Come on, Lieutenant. How corny can you get?
We'll see, Mr. Adams. We'll see.
In just a moment, we will return for the concluding act of Suspense.
Now, here are Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
Charlie, where have you been?
Well, it's a long story, Bergen. Remember, you said you wanted the car lubricated.
I said I wanted a Guardian maintenance lubrication. Like all Chevrolets, Pontiacs, Oldsmobiles, Buicks, Cadillacs, and Chevy and GMC trucks, our car deserves the best of service. And that means Guardian maintenance at our dealer service department.
Yes, well, I drove our car to our dealers without an accident.
Oh?
Most of the way.
Charlie, where's the car now?
It's on Main Street between 4th and 5th.
Is it closer to 4th or 5th?
It's all the way from 4th to 5th.
All right, young man, you're going to get it now.
I'm only kidding, Bergen. It's just a scratched fender. Our dealers' GM-trained mechanics have already got it looking like new again. It's part of their quality appearance service. Shall I still meet you in the woodshed?
You drove the car without permission. It's the woodshed. And I'll see you there as soon as I phone the dealer.
Well, take your time. If you're not there in 10 minutes, I'll start without you.
Well, it seems like it all happened a long time ago. The Blackstone Overpass is finished now, and 50,000 cars a day stream over and under it. People have stopped asking me if I've heard from Clara. They've stopped clucking and shaking their heads when they meet me on the street. I live a quiet and serene existence, as befits a man whom tragedy has touched, and who, furthermore, must wait another year for the big insurance payoff when his wife will be declared legally dead. Which is not, however, to say that I live a completely anchorite life. As much red blood flows in my veins as in the next fellow's, and from time to time, when I encounter some lovely creature as lonely and as spirited as I'm not above an evening of genteel misbehavior. On such occasions, I seem compelled to include the Blackstone Overpass among the earlier gambits of the rendezvous. Are you acquainted with Blackstone Overpass, my dear?
Acquainted with it? Well, I've driven over it once or twice.
No. You like it?
Well, yes.
Would it surprise you to know that I designed and built it?
You did?
Mm-hmm, I did.
Well, I had no idea.
Care to drive over it again with me?
Oh, my, yes.
It isn't far out of your way, really. And so I would proudly escort my lady of the evening through the sweeping cloverleafs of Blackstone Overpass, extolling to her its aesthetic and engineering virtues, reciting the liturgy of its statistics, the ever-mounting total of vehicles that rush through it daily. And always, as I swung around the gracefully steep off-ramp to the lower level, I felt a surge of pride and power as I passed by the cylindrical pillar which supported the upper level and which contained the mortal remains of my vanished wife. Sometimes I'd murmur to myself, the Clara Adams Memorial Bridge.
What'd you say, honey?
Oh, nothing. I didn't say anything. Again, it's one of those nights, and beside me is a little lady who's a real charmer.
Oh, Charlie, I just can't get over it. You building this great big bridge all by yourself?
Oh, I had a little help.
It's so very. Charlie, look out, that car coming towards you.
He's out of control. He jumped the divider.
The car is crushed against one of the cylindrical bridge supports, rammed against it head on. And my lady and I are jammed inside, cut and hurt. And from somewhere far away, there's a voice.
Hang on! Just hang on! Look at you out there!
Charlie, look.
What?
Look ahead. In that concrete pillar.
I looked. Just beyond the broken windshield where the impact had torn at the cylindrical bridge support. I look. And I know before I look what I'll see. There in the pebbles and the cement of the pillar. A human hand. Petrified. Mummified. Concretized. But unmistakably a human hand. Connected, I know, to the rest of a body that had once been Clara Adams.
Hang on! We're coming! We'll get you out!
But now, it doesn't make any difference whether they do or not.
Suspense.
You've been listening to Memorial Bridge, written for Suspense by William N. Robeson. In a moment, the names of our players and a word about next week's story of Suspense.
Hi, this is Dennis James with a longtime favorite. Yes, the longtime favorites are usually the best, aren't they? And one favorite folks have relied on over the years is Kellogg's All Brand. Since 1919, America's favorite natural laxative cereal. Kellogg's All Brand is the safe, gentle way to overcome irregularity caused by lack of bulk in your diet. It tastes good, too, and it never gets mushy in milk. There's only one All Brand, Kellogg's All Brand. So relieve constipation the way millions do with Kellogg's All Brand. ALL-BRAN. Yes, you're so right to stay regular with Kellogg's All Brand. Try it, okay? Okay.
Heard in tonight's story were Bob Dryden as Charlie, Charlotte Manson as Clara, Ralph Bell as Foreman, Sam Gray as Foran, and Larry Haynes as the detective. Others in the cast included Lawson Zerby, Roger DeKoven, and Pat Hosley. Listen again next week when we return with Cold Canvas by Walter Black. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. The Kingston Trio next, followed by latest CBS News and Have Gun Will Travel on CBS Radio.
Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
In just a moment, Cold Canvas, written for Suspense by Walter Black.
In the air. On the sea. On the highway. The man in command must be awake and alert. And No-Dose Stay Awake tablets help you stay in command when you slide behind the wheel of your car and move more than a ton of automobile into highway traffic. You see, monotonous driving can make you drowsy no matter how much sleep you get. And driving and dozing just don't mix. But millions of times a year, safe no-dose helps keep drivers awake and alert. How does no-dose do it? Ask your doctor. He'll tell you that no-dose contains a safe and accurate amount of caffeine, the same refreshing stimulant you get in your coffee or tea. But safe no-dose acts faster, is handier, and more reliable. Best of all, it is not habit-forming. Yes, no-dose is so safe, it is legally sold on a national basis without a prescription. Get no-dose Stay Awake tablets today. It could save your life.
Yeah? Oh, Bud, come in.
Yes, sir. I thought I'd better check with you before I went out, Howard.
Fine. Sit down.
Oh, thanks.
Well, this is a big day, isn't it?
Well, it sure is.
Yeah, I remember my first day in the field. I was really champing at the bit. Couldn't wait to get out there and sell all those prospects. Well, what's on the agenda?
Well, I thought maybe I'd just get out and knock on some doors.
Good. A lot of men in this business sneer at cold canvassing, but not me, Bud. You can sell a lot of insurance just by going around knocking on doors. Just remember one thing. Don't be discouraged. Don't ever give up.
Well, if I get thrown out of here, it'll probably be down the butler. Even the door chimes sound rich.
Yes?
Oh, good afternoon, madam. Are you the mistress of this beautiful establishment?
Aren't you a little fancy? I thought the phrase was lady of the house.
Oh, yes, ma'am, it is usually, but someone as attractive as you with such a magnificent home deserves nothing but the best.
Whatever you're selling, you're probably very successful at it, aren't you?
Well, ma'am, if I am, it's only because I'm lucky enough to have the right kind of client.
Client? For what?
Peace of mind and security, madam.
This I have not heard before. This is new. All right, Mr. Bones, you've piqued my interest. Exactly what little gadget in that shiny new briefcase of yours is going to provide me with peace of mind and security?
Life insurance, ma'am.
I should have known.
Oh, now, please, ma'am, don't be too hasty. Let me ask you something. When Mr.
The name is Fouché. Fouché.
Oh, thank you. Well, when Mr. Fouché bought you this beautiful home, he wasn't just buying lumber and brick comfort. And when he bought your television set, he was buying entertainment and pleasure.
Have you watched television lately?
Well, its intent was to provide pleasure. Now, wasn't it, Mrs. Fouché?
So?
A good provider doesn't just buy life insurance. He buys peace of mind for himself and security for you. I mean, in case anything should happen to him.
Your elliptical phrasing is so comforting. You mean if he dies?
Well, yes, ma'am.
He's only 41.
Well, but can he guarantee how long he's going to live? No, ma'am. No one can guarantee that. But I can guarantee that no matter what happens, whether he lives or dies, his and your future will be provided for. Life insurance, ma'am, is the only answer. You know, we have an old saying in our business. Someone always pays for life insurance, whether it's bought or not. The breadwinner pays in premiums, or the widow in privation and suffering.
What's your name?
Phillips. Eugene J. Phillips. My friends call me Bud.
I'll bet they do. Would you care for a cup of coffee, Mr. Eugene J. Phillips?
Well, if you're sure it's no trouble.
I almost never go to trouble for other people, Mr. Phillips. Come on in and meet my husband. You can tell us both all about this peace of mind and security.
Well, that's pretty much the story, Mr. Fouché. You're a successful businessman. I don't have to tell you the value of sound investing.
Okay. I get the pitch. If I drop dead, I'm worth $100,000. You want me to buy this, hon?
I want you to do what you feel is right.
How much does $100,000 cost?
Let me see now. With a double indemnity in the event of accidental death, $3,157 annually.
Out of the question. Forget it.
Oh, that's all right, sir. I mean, what could you conveniently afford?
Maybe at the outside, maybe $1,000 a year.
All right. When would it be convenient for you to be examined by our doctor?
I haven't said yes yet.
Well, no, sir. But you see, regardless of whether you put 1,000 or 100 into the plan, you're going to have a medical examination. So at least we'll find out if you can qualify.
It can't hurt you to have a physical, Victor.
Where do I have to go to get it?
Oh, nowhere, sir. I'll have the doctor here at the house. How's tomorrow evening around 8:30?
Can tomorrow. Make it Friday.
All right, sir. Friday at 8:30. Now, if you'll just sign this application and give me...
I haven't definitely made up my mind yet. I don't sign papers until I'm sure I'm ready to go ahead.
Well, this is just an application, sir. It doesn't bind you or the company. But you see, we must have it in order for you to be examined by the doctor.
I have no intention of giving you any money tonight.
You don't have to, Mr. Fouché. You can pay the first premium when the policy is issued. Now, what is your exact date of birth?
In just a moment, we will return for the second act of Suspense.
Thirsty people everywhere prefer ice-cold Pepsi-Cola. And because it's light, it refreshes without filling.
Charlie, be sociable.
I am, Kay. Pepsi is a favorite of thirsty people from Maine to Hawaii, from Alaska to Florida.
Charlie.
It's perfect for parties or picnics. So serve Pepsi to your guests.
That's helpful, but...
This is the sociable part. Keep plenty of Pepsi ice-cold and ready. Remember, it goes fast because everybody likes Pepsi.
Singing still sounds more inviting. May I?
Be sociable. Look smart. Keep up to date with Pepsi. Drink light, refreshing. Debonair. Be sociable. Have a Pepsi.
But singing doesn't say, pick up an extra carton of Pepsi today. Better yet, get a case.
You do that.
Well, of course, he kept throwing in arguments, but I just said uh-huh and yes, sir, and kept right on filling out the application.
Uh-huh. And when does he take his physical?
Friday night.
Think you'll go through with it?
Oh, why, sure, Howard.
Oh, don't get your hopes up too high.
Well, now, this is a business of the law of averages, you told me. If I can knock off a $100,000 case every week, a lot of them are bound to stick, aren't they?
Yeah, no, I wish I'd had your spirit when I was your age. Sure, Bud, you keep on knocking them off and you'll be rolling in dough. Only, don't concentrate on the big ones. It's the 5s and 10s that pay the freight. Yeah? Oh, yes. For you, Bud, a woman.
Oh, thanks. Hello?
Is that Mr. Phillips?
It sure is.
Madeline Fouché here.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
About that insurance for my husband.
Oh, well, there's nothing wrong, is there, ma'am? I mean, it's a fine policy, Mrs. Fouché. Believe me, I wouldn't have recommended it.
Now, don't get upset, Mr. Phillips. Mr. Fouché wants to go through with it, but after you left last night, we got to talking about it. He's figured out a way that his corporation can pay the premiums, and they'll be tax deductible.
Oh, yes, ma'am?
So we've decided to increase the size of the policy.
Oh.
How much would it cost for $250,000? The least expensive kind of insurance.
Well, Howard, look up the rate for $250,000 of convertible term, age 41.
What? You're kidding.
I'm on the level. By the year, Mrs. Fouché?
Oh, no. Mr. Fouché was very explicit on that point. He said monthly.
Yes, ma'am.
Monthly. Okay. Let's see. With double indemnity, $355 even.
$355 per month, Mrs. Fouché.
All right. Oh, by the way, will this also provide for my husband's retirement?
Oh, well, no, don't worry about that. We'll convert it at a later date to the right kind of plan, but meanwhile, you'll be protected in the event of his premature...
Yes, Mr. Phillips. All right. I'll put the check in the mail tonight.
Make it out to the company, Mrs. Fouché.
Yes, and I'll mark it to your attention.
Well, thank you very much. Oh, don't forget that the doctor's coming on Friday.
We haven't forgotten. Goodbye, Mr. Phillips.
250,000?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be a no-good, three-toed, tree-climbing South American sloth.
What did I tell you? Hey, Howard, what is my first-year commission?
55%, you lucky boy.
55% of $355. Now, let me see. That's close to $200 a month. $2,400 for 1 hour's work. Oh, I think I'm going to like the insurance business. You wanted me, Howard?
Yes, come on in, Bud. You see the paper this morning?
Oh, no, I didn't even take time out for a real breakfast. My first appointment was at 8:15, all the way on the other side of town. Why?
Here.
Huh? What is it?
On the front page. Down at the right-hand side.
Huh? Where, Howard? I don't see anything. Oh, no. no, it couldn't be.
Yes, that's what I said when I first read it.
Victor L. Fouché, 41, a local contractor residing at 11 Edgewood Terrace, was the victim of a hit-and-run accident early this morning on South Waring Boulevard. According to his wife, Fouché was on his way home from a business conference when he was struck by the speeding car. He died at Mercy Hospital without regaining consciousness. Police say no clues, early development. Oh. One lousy monthly premium. $2,000 right out the window. Oh, guess I shouldn't say that, Howard, but, well, I only met him that once, and after all, it was my first big case. I suppose I ought to be thinking of her. Mrs. Fouché, I mean. She's pretty rough on her.
Yes, well, she'll have the money to console her. $500,000 can be very soothing.
Hey, that's right. Double indemnity in case of accidental death.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Listen, Howard. Maybe it sounds crazy, but you think she could have, run over him?
It wouldn't be the first time. But don't worry. The company will check and double-check. And then triple-check. They don't just hand out all that money without really investigating.
Yeah. Gee, I wish I'd been able to wangle the whole annual premium out of him first, though.
Well, cheer up. There are lots more prospects where he came from. Come on, I'll buy you lunch.
That was sure a good meal, Howard. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, feeling a little better now?
Yeah, sure.
More coffee?
Just a little. That's kind of thing.
Now, what you got to do now, kid, is simply forget all about Fouché and settle down to making up the difference in other policies.
Yeah.
4 or 5 medium-sized cases will make it all back for you. Never look back, Bud. Always ahead.
Well, hey, Howard.
Huh?
Look, over there, just coming in.
It's not bad at all.
That's Mrs. Fouché.
Oh.
And look, the guy with her.
And what about him?
Why would she be going out to lunch with some guy the day after her husband is run over?
Oh, don't go leaping to a lot of conclusions, son. The man could be her brother or her lawyer or her husband's lawyer. Or just somebody who's taking her out to get her mind off her troubles. No law says the widow has to go into hiding. Come on, drink your coffee. I have to get back to the office.
Howard, would you do me a favor? Go pay a call on her later today with me.
What for?
Well, I don't know. You're more experienced about people than I am. I'd just like you to meet her and see what you think of her.
Well, if it'll make you feel any better, okay. Besides, it isn't every day I get to meet someone as good-looking as she is.
In a moment, we will return for the third act of Suspense.
Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
Bergie, I think someone's looking for you.
Oh, Mr. Bergen.
Well, hello, Effie Clinker. What's wrong?
My car battery is run down. I think it's in acid condition.
Oh, I see. Well, have you seen a serviceman?
Well, I had a blind date with a sailor last night, but he got away.
No, I mean a mechanic. Seeing you own a General Motors car, you should see your GM dealer for service. His mechanics are GM trained. They have specialized tools and factory-approved parts to provide your fine GM car with the GM care it deserves. So if you own a Chevrolet car or truck, a Pontiac, an Oldsmobile, Buick, Cadillac, or a GMC truck, you should make a date with a General Motors serviceman.
Oh, that sounds exciting. Will he have blue eyes?
Swanky neighborhood.
Yeah, where do you see the inside of the house?
Oh, Mr. Phillips.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like you to meet my associate, Mr. Rigby, Mrs. Fouché.
How do you do?
Hello.
You've seen the papers?
Yes.
I still don't believe it. Only last night at supper we were discussing our vacation, and now... You must excuse me.
Oh, please, don't apologize, ma'am. That's why we came, to offer our condolences.
That's very kind of you. I feel so lost. If it weren't for my husband's lawyer, Roger Whittier, I don't know what I'd do.
He even insisted on taking me out to lunch today to get my mind off.
What did I tell you? Yeah, we won't bother you anymore, Mrs. Fouché. If there's anything we can do, just let us know. Come on, Bud.
Would you like to come in for a moment?
No, ma'am, no. We wouldn't dream of imposing. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, Howard,
What do you think? She's a fine woman, taking you like a soldier. Like I said, Bud, you're leaping to a lot of wrong conclusions.
Mr. Phillips.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Oh, no, I was just doing my supper dishes. This is the maid's night out.
I just thought, well, it's been almost 3 weeks now, and I was passing by, and, well, I thought maybe there was something I could do to help.
Well, that's very kind of you, Mr. Phillips, but really, there isn't anything.
All right, ma'am.
But now that you've stopped, why don't you come in for a moment?
Oh, are you sure it's all right?
Perfectly all right.
Thank you.
Won't you come into the living room?
We alone?
No, there's a spy from your insurance company under the piano. Of course we're alone.
You get the check.
It's already deposited, Angel. $500,000. I keep saying it over and over again. The most beautiful words in the English language.
And no one's been around.
You mean to investigate? No, not since right after the accident.
Oh, you know what that means, baby? We are in the clear. Nobody's got a thing to go on. We're in the clear.
Well, I never thought we wouldn't be, Angel.
No, I can't wait much longer for you. Sneaking in and out like this has been driving me crazy.
Me too, darling. When do we go?
Well, I'm going to think up a good story for Wrigley. Something that'll give us 2 or 3 weeks head start. Maybe a vacation. And then we just take off from Mexico and from there down to South America.
But what if they suspect us?
Oh, let them. We'll be long gone. And we'll be where they can't extradite us either.
You've gotten rid of the car?
Yes, sir. Stripped it down in my own garage and sold it for junk piece by piece. Don't you worry, baby. We've got it made.
I'm not worried, as long as I have you.
Now, look, I'll call you tomorrow or the next day. Just hold tight.
Yes, sir.
So long, gorgeous.
Take care, my angel.
Go on to bed. I'll let myself out. Good night, Mrs. Fouché. If there's anything else Mr. Rigby or I can do for you, please just say the word.
Hurry up, Roger.
He's gone.
Just now.
Where are your bags?
Already in the car.
Okay, let's get going, hon. Back door.
What about your bag?
I'll buy what I need in Mexico. The sooner we're across the border, the better. We picked a good night, Madeline. Pitch black. Come on.
The garage doors are already open.
We've thought of everything. Gas tank full?
Thought of everything, Mother. You got it. Are you thinking the same thing I am?
You're stewed.
Yes. Dear Mr. U.G.J. Phillips.
What a job you must have done on him. And so he calls you when?
Tomorrow or the next day.
And you're gone, and what can he do?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. He's left holding a big empty bag.
Well, he could go to the police.
And walk into the gas chamber for murder? Mm-mm. Anyway, give us 1 week and who cares? There's no extradition where we're going.
That's funny. He mentioned that, too.
No, it only goes to show that he's a very intelligent stooge.
Tell me something. Is this a private joke, or can I get in on it?
Oh, it is Bob.
Yeah, well, just call me Stooge for short. How are you, Mr. Whittier, isn't it?
You said he'd fallen for it.
That's what you thought I had, didn't you, Madeline? You lovely little double-crosser.
Well, now, Bud, listen to me, darling. You won't believe this, but I can...
You're right. I won't believe it. So save your breath, Angel.
You got a gun?
Mr. Whittier, you're a lawyer. You know the penalty for carrying a deadly weapon. I don't need a gun.
That's where you're wrong.
Oh, no, Mr. Whittier. You see, I have a lawyer, too, and I left a letter with him. If he doesn't get a phone call or a cable from me every 3 days, he gives the letter to the police. They may not be able to extradite us for Fouché's murder, but they wouldn't be too happy about one committed right under their noses, now would they?
You can.
Other way around, Angel. I figured you were planning something, so I just took some natural precautions.
Roger, we've got to kill him before we reach Mexico.
Oh, sure. Take a chance on being seen. And what do we do with the body? Take it with us?
He's right, Angel. You see, between here and the border, it's kind of open. Pretty well traveled, too. So why don't you just relax? Even after I take my third, you and Clarence Darrow there still have 333,000 bucks left, and that's not hay.
Shut up.
Poor sportsmanship. Oh, well. I think I'll take a little nap back here. To the border, James.
Si, senor.
Well, we've just come across the border, my friend, and we're celebrating.
Bueno, senor.
See, my two friends here are on their honeymoon, and I'm the best man, and we're all going on the trip together.
You joke, senor.
Yeah, I joke. 3 double scotch.
Si, senor.
Come on now, don't look so grouchy, you two. Think of all the fun we're going to have together. Why, who knows? Maybe I can sell old Roger here a nice, fat insurance policy, and then Madeline can run him down. Not a thought, anyway, isn't it? What's the matter, Angel? What do you say?
I guess she's surprised to see me, Bud.
Howard, how did you...
Wasn't too hard, kid, and you weren't quite as smart as you thought. Don't bother, Mrs. Fouché. The police have the place surrounded. Okay, Captain Gomez. But I'm sorry for you. I tried to tell you it was the small cases that paid off, but you were too greedy.
Suspense.
You've been listening to Cold Kansas, written for Suspense by Walter Black. In a moment, the names of our players and a word about next week's story of Suspense.
Hi, this is Dennis James. Say, remember way back when this melody was popular? There's something very special about a long-time favorite, isn't there? Well, folks feel the same way about one of Kellogg's favorites, Kellogg's All Brand. Going on 41 years now, it's been America's most popular good food way to fight irregularity from lack of bulk. Because it's whole brand, Kellogg's All Brand gentles away irregularity safely and reliably. And because it's deep toasted for extra crispness, it never gets mushy in milk. There's only one All Brand, Kellogg's All Brand. That's ALL-BRAN. Kellogg's All Brand.
Heard in tonight's story were William Redfield as Bud Phillips, Ginger Jones as Madeline Fouché, Les Damon as Howard Rigby, and Guy Retz as Victor Fouché. Listen again next week when we return with Endgame by David Karp, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. In a moment, Endgame, written for Suspense by David Karp.
So long! Have a nice trip.
Don't forget to phone.
Wherever you go this summer, go first by long distance.
Room clerk speaking. A double overlooking the water. Well, let's see now. Well, yes, sir, we do. May I have your name, please?
When you're traveling this summer, it makes good sense to use long distance to make your plans. A call ahead is the quick, easy way to get the reservations you want when you want them. And a call to friends you hope to visit will make sure they're at home when you stop by. Wherever you go this summer, go first by long distance. Rates are low. Why not call now?
Have you ever been lost at night? Even if you are, like myself, a man who isn't easily upset, there is a nightmarish quality in driving down a narrow two-lane country road at night in a wild, pouring rainstorm. I'd been traveling on a turnpike until an hour ago, but I left that too soon, I fear. But there, at least, I had the sense of reason and order, of being in touch with civilization, as civilization which engineered roads for high-speed travel, which provided sensible road stops. But now, for all I knew of where I was going, I could have been traveling on the moon. My name is Charles Ross Victor, age 42. Occupation, teacher. Where was I going that night? I was on my way to a small Midwestern college to indulge myself in a lifelong passion. There was a sign. I slowed the car and stopped. You are now entering Allenbury, where all laws are strictly enforced. Population 872. Sheriff G. Van Allen. Well, that was plain enough. I switched on the overhead light in the car and searched the map. Well, there was only one thing which wasn't plain. Allenbury simply wasn't on the map. I began to drive more slowly, hoping for the sign of a lighted home, a gas station, any place where I might be able to find another human being. And then quite suddenly I saw another human being directly in front of me. 2 tons of car were too much to stop in time. I cut the engine, get out of the car, and rushed to that pitifully small, sodden heap in the road. It was a man, his arm thrown protectively across his face. I knelt in the storm, sick to my stomach. And then I looked up. There, almost as though it had been mysteriously and luminously painted in glowing colors, I saw a window and a man staring out of the lighted window at me. I rose and hurried to the window, and the cold, patrician face which had been watching me disappeared. I went up the porch steps, and the door opened suddenly, and the man wearing a yellow slicker came to the doorway. I've hit a man with my car. Said nothing. He walked past me into the road. I followed him. He knelt down then beside the body and looked at the face of the man I'd struck down. In the rain, the sightless eyes were those of a man in his early 50s, a ruined-looking face, but not the face of a brutal or stupid man. Give me a hand. We shouldn't move him until a doctor can see him.
Doctor's not going to help him.
No, he's not.
Said give me a hand.
You don't have to be so gentle. Hang up the things over there and give me your driver's license. Come on. Never mind him. I'm talking to you. I'm Sheriff Van Allen. That sign you passed says what it means.
I never had a chance to avoid him. He just walked directly into my path.
Sit down. I'll make out the report.
Did you see it?
I saw it. Where were you going?
I was on my way to Lewiston College. I was on my way to the college for a tournament.
Chess tournament?
Yes. I was supposed to play and speak.
You're Victor. You're not Charles Ross Victor.
That's right.
Well, this is an honor. Charles Ross Victor. I was going to come down to the college to see you play. But you're coming here to my home. Why, it's indeed an honor.
Thank you. But I'd rather the honor had not happened this way.
Oh, Cussburger? Oh, forget it, Mr. Victor. It means nothing. I saw the whole thing. Shouldn't cause you a moment's embarrassment. Here, come over to the fire. You must be chilled to the bone. I'm sorry I didn't realize who you were. Here, sit down here. I have something that will warm you up, a fine Napoleon brandy. I don't generally bring this out except for my most distinguished visitors. There isn't much of it left in the world, and there isn't much of anything fine left in this world. Here, drink this.
I feel awful about the accident, Sheriff.
Oh, forget that. It wasn't your fault. It was unavoidable. Cheers. Here's to chess and all who love it.
you interested in chess?
Interested? I worship it. We can play later on this evening.
If you don't mind, Sheriff, I don't feel like playing this evening.
Tomorrow morning, then.
I don't like to play before a tournament, Sheriff. It does take a lot out of me, and I want to keep myself fresh.
I must say that's an ungrateful attitude to take, Mr. Victor.
Ungrateful?
You killed a man, and I'm proposing to let you get away with it. The least you can do is to play chess with me.
Oh, just a moment. It was an accident. You saw it. You told me you did. You're not letting me get away with anything.
I haven't had anyone to play chess with in this town in nearly 10 years.
I'm sorry about that, Sheriff.
Don't be a hypocrite. You're not sorry at all. But you could be made sorry.
What?
You know, homicide with a vehicle is a very serious crime in this state. You could be sent to prison for life.
It was an accident. An unavoidable accident. You said so yourself.
Did I?
What do you mean? Of course you did.
Or perhaps I spoke hastily. After all, the rain is heavy, the visibility poor, and I was looking from a lighted window out into the darkness. I couldn't really swear that the accident was unavoidable.
What is this?
You can't really conceive what it's like living out your life among swine, among clods and animals. You can't understand what it means to a man like me to have no living soul to talk to, no human being with whom I can communicate, against whom I can pit my skill and brain and passion.
I can't understand what you're talking about.
Of course you do. You're letting your mind wander to that mongrel you struck down. You and I were men of intelligence. I could be a chess master as you are. I could leave this place.
What's stopping you, then?
There are certain matters of family pride involved. It's a mean little kingdom, but the king doesn't go elsewhere. Under my grandfather's will, a Van Allen must always live in Allenbury, must always hold a position in the town's government.
Oh, I see. A remittance man. The money.
I need money. It's a necessary condition of my existence.
You could go to work.
No, thank you, Mr. Victor. I'm happy with what I do now.
What do you want?
Play chess with me.
If it means that much to you, let's play.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I'll just go and get my best board. Oh, I can just picture the evenings ahead for us.
Evenings?
Yes, of course. You ought to be able to play 5 or 6 times a week or more. Aren't those lovely chessmen? I had them sent from Czechoslovakia. Beautifully carved.
What do you mean?
Well, after all, I will be saving you from a life sentence in prison.
In exchange for which you want...
You live here in Allenbury and play chess with me.
You're not serious. You can't be.
I've never wanted anything more in my whole life.
You'd lie to get that?
I'd kill to get that. Doesn't have to be unpleasant. I assure you that you'll be completely comfortable here. We could find you a suitable house, servant.
If I don't choose to do that?
You'll spend your life in prison, Mr. Victor.
You're insane.
Not noticeably so. Shall we play? I'll take white.
How long would I have to stay here?
I don't know. 6 months, a year, possibly longer.
Possibly the rest of my natural life?
I can always hope that you live to a ripe old age.
In a moment, we will return for the third act of Suspense.
Now, here are Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
Say, Charlie, isn't that your French girlfriend coming into the service department?
Yeah, Bergen, isn't she a doll?
Pardonnez-moi, monsieur. I don't wish to bother you.
Oh, think nothing of it. Beautiful women always bother me.
It is my automobile. She has a squeak.
Oh, poor thing. It probably needs one of our Quality Guardian maintenance lubrications.
Fantastic. How did you know that?
Specialized training, ma'am.
Specialized training?
Oui. The servicemen at all Chevrolet, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Buick, Cadillac, Chevy, and GMC truck dealers get special training. That's what makes them Guardian maintenance servicemen. They're trained to know your GM product best.
You are so wonderful. Oh, I must kiss you.
Gladly.
Oh, la la. How did you learn to kiss like that?
Specialized training, ma'am.
Van Allen's smile was awful. It was the smile of a madman who knew he had won. I looked away, incapable of returning his stare, glanced towards the poor dead man who had unwittingly thrown me into this hideous trap. Suddenly, my heart leapt. Berger's eyes were open. He's alive, Van Allen. He's alive. We've got to get a doctor for him. He'll die without help.
That's what I'm counting on.
I'm going for help.
By the time you're back, he'll be dead. I'll see to it the moment you're out the door. It's my move. Go ahead, Mr. Victor.
What sort of a man are you, Van Allen? It takes a special breed of man to sit by while a human being bleeds to death.
Shall I tell you something about Gus? He used to be a doctor here. Surprised? He was quite the leading town intellectual, a scientist. Gus had a fatal weakness. He was soft. He was sympathetic. He was kind. Weren't you, Gus?
As Van Allen spoke, I watched Berger's eyes.
Gus was all right when it came to treating broken legs and running noses. But worse things than that happened to men. It was a young farmhand who was mangled by one of those big reaper thresher machines. Peterson, wasn't it, Gus? That was his name. Peterson.
Berger's eyes closed, whether through weakness or remembered pain, I could not tell.
Pretty bad sight. So bad, in fact, that Gus couldn't stand it. Took a few drinks to steady his nerves. Tricky job for an objective man of science. Trouble was, Gus wasn't an objective scientist. It was a quivering mass of nerves. It's your move, Mr. Victor.
Bishop to Queen 3.
You've made me lose a temper, Mr. Victor. My congratulations.
And what happened to Peterson?
I don't think Gus would want me to tell you. Take a look at him, Mr. Victor. Those are big, fat tears rolling out of his eyes.
He's in pain, Van Allen. Have pity, for God's sake.
He isn't in pain. He's remembering Peterson. I suppose he still feels sorry for that big, dumb farmer. Well, feeling sorry for him is what turned Peterson into a total cripple. Feeling sorry for others is what took the spine out of Dr. August Berger.
I hate you, Van Allen.
Nothing wrong with hate. It's your move.
Queen to Rook 5.
Very good. Very good indeed. I see you come by your claim to being a master honestly.
I'll play you for his life, right now.
You're in a powerful position.
Reverse the board, then. I'll take the white.
No. Chess should never be played for stakes. It corrupts the purity of the game, and if there's anything I detest, it's the corruption of what should be pure. That thing lying there to his side is corruption. The corruption of a man who should have been pure, untouched by the stickier, sloppier emotions.
Like compassion?
Your move, Mr. Victor.
Queen to Rook 6.
Moving rather quickly, aren't you?
I intend to finish you off quickly.
You can try.
It's your move, Van Allen.
Well, I think I'll just take that night. It's your move.
Could you continue playing me for the rest of your life knowing I hated you, that I detested you?
Hate is a purifying agent. It cleanses. Don't you know that?
No, Van Allen, you're wrong. Hate never purified anything. But you've taught me hate.
Good. We'll make our games all the keener.
If you let Berger die, I'll kill you for it the first chance I have.
I'd like to believe that. But I don't. You're incapable of killing anyone because you care about Gus. You love him. You hear that, Gus? He loves you. He loves your immortal soul.
I promise you, Dr. Berger, I will. I'll kill him for what he's done to you.
That's very generous of him, Gus, isn't it? Willing to throw his life away and mine, too, just to avenge you. As if you were worth avenging. That ought to make you die happily, Gus, shouldn't it? But you and I know differently. You aren't worth the dirt they'll cover you with. Your move, Mr. Victor?
I'll take the bishop.
Take it and welcome to it. I didn't think you'd fall into that trap, Mr. Victor. Surprised you, didn't I?
I'll concede.
No, you won't. You'll play it out to the end of the bitter end. Gus, you've given me a lifetime partner. You've never done anything in your life worth anything. But you have done this much for me. Thank you, Gus. Thank you for getting yourself killed. Your move, Mr. Victor. Now, wait a minute. I believe Gus is actually trying to talk. Now, what dying words of wisdom can we get from this corpse? What is it, Gus? Tell me. I'll tell him. Beat me? You want him to beat me? He can't, Gus. He's losing now. He's lost now, just as you are. Well, Mr. Victor, I believe it was your move.
I'll beat him, Dr. Berger. I swear to you I will. I'll beat him. I concentrated then, driving out hatred, driving out any thought of the position in which I had found myself. I made up my mind to win. Van Allen's game was good. Good enough to get him into first-ranked tournament play. But like all pathological players, he was too anxious for the kill. And once he had scented victory, he pressed his attack without any thought to defensive positions.
Check.
King to rook square.
Check. It's the end, Victor. Another move or two, and it's the end.
Van Allen was totally absorbed in the play, and so didn't notice what I did. That Dr. Berger, painfully, with terrible slowness, had risen to his knees and then to his feet. He moved very slowly towards us. Now he was close enough for me to hear his breathing. And then he threw his arms up.
You lose, Van Allen. You swine! You've ruined my game!
No, Van Allen! Stop!
You ruined it! You always were a bad chess player and a good shot. I was winning. You ruined it.
No, Van Allen. You ruined it.
I didn't. I was winning.
Remember the board as it was before Berger upset it? Do you remember it?
Yeah. Yes, I remember it.
It was my move. And my move is bishop to queen 2. Do you see it?
Bishop to queen 2. Yes, I see it.
Check and mate. You lost, Van Allen.
Hey, Sheriff. You know what happened to the driver of that car outside? We've been looking for him for the last half hour. He went past the toll booth without paying. Hey, what's going on?
Come right in, officer. The sheriff has just murdered a man who would have died anyway. But he couldn't wait.
The sheriff? I lost.
You better give me that gun, Van.
I lost.
In more ways than one, Van Allen, and for a terrible reason. You didn't know how to wait. Berger knew that you didn't know how to wait. So he picked himself up with his last dying will to make you kill him, which is exactly what you did. And a player who does what his opponent wants him to do can never win. He was right. You're a good shot, but a bad chess player.
Suspense. You've been listening to Endgame, written for Suspense by David Karp. In a moment, the names of our players and a word about next week's story of Suspense.
Hi. Maybe you'll recall this tuneful reminder of times past. This is Dennis James with something else worth remembering. It's this. You're so right to stay regular with Kellogg's All-Bran. See, it's the normal, natural way to youthful regularity. The whole brand content of Kellogg's All-Bran supplies your system with all the bulk-forming food that you need every day. There's only one All-Bran. It's Kellogg's All-Bran. So relieve irregularity from lack of bulk, as millions do, with a bowl full of Kellogg's All-Bran each morning. ALL-BRAN. It's Kellogg's All-Bran.
Heard in tonight's story were Michael Caine as Victor, Santos Ortega as Van Allen, Jack Arthur as Berger, and Alan Manson as the Trooper. Listen again next week when we return with Big Dive by John West. Another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense. The Kingston Trio next, followed by latest CBS News and Have Gun Will Travel on CBS Radio.
And now, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Fun Island Amusement Park, late one summer night. The smell of popcorn and franks, the music of the carousel, the thunder of the roller coaster, the steady sound of shots from the shooting gallery, the ceaseless call of the barkers along the midway. All the garish light and color of a carnival. And hiding behind them, the shadows that haunt the lives of the carny people. From the hunchback who peddles balloons to Danny King, the diving wonder of the world.
Over this way, boss. Danny King is down at the end of the midway.
Oh, this is Fun Island, huh? Somehow I've never been out here before.
Yeah, you go more for nightclubs and racetracks, boss. But a lot of people like this kind of fun.
I wonder if we shouldn't look into it. A lot of potential customers out here.
They're all two-bit spenders, every one of them. Oh, there's Danny King's pit. Hey, you see that diving tower? That's him now, climbing up on it.
This is where Danny's been hiding now. No wonder we couldn't find him.
Yeah. And if I hadn't seen his mug and had newspapers, hey, we better hurry, boss. He's already up on the platform.
You mean he's really going to dive from up there? He must be 60 feet up.
75. And he dives into a canvas pool 6 feet deep. Yeah, he's a bum, this guy. He's a no-goodnik, but in college he was a diving champ.
Well, we better stop here. Crowd's getting too thick. I don't like crowds.
Okay, boy.
All right, folks, all right. Now we bring you our featured attraction, Danny King, the human seal, the diving wonder of the world. It's free, folks, it's free. Step up, step up, step up. In just a moment, this daring young man you see standing far above your head is going to dive through flaming gasoline into 5 feet of water. Yes, folks, 5 feet of water. Can he perform this feat of daring and live 75 feet into a tiny canvas tank? He's getting ready, folks. He's getting ready. Watch him make his desperate gamble with death.
Yes, he's really going to do it.
And here he comes, folks. He's in the air. And he's plunging through the flames. He's turning towards us. Is he going to miss the tank? And he's done it. 75 feet into a puddle of water, and he still lives. Danny King, the diving wonder of the world. Give him a hand, folks. Give him a hand. That's it.
Very neatly done. But, Charlie, if Danny has to earn his living like this, I doubt if he has $10,000 to pay.
That's right. But he's got a rich uncle. A real rich uncle.
Quite true. All right. Suppose we give him time to get dressed. Then we'll have our little chat.
Hey, Danny, you dressed?
Yeah, what is it?
There's 2 guys outside want to see you. I don't like their looks. They got the look of the racket to me.
Throw him off, Barker. I don't want to see him. That's too bad, Danny. Because we're here. Oh, Brogan.
You can't come busting in here like this.
Outside, little man.
It's okay, Barker. I know these fellas.
You heard the man.
Well, if you say so, Danny. I'll wait outside.
Well, Danny, this is a pleasant surprise. What do you want? Just to say hello and collect $10,000. I don't owe you anything. You got $25,000 from me, and I stole part of that. My uncle threw me out. That ought to satisfy you. Unfortunately, no. I still hold $10,000 of your IOU. Well, I haven't got it.
Tell him, Mike. He knows somebody who does have it.
Charlie means your uncle, Danny. Harvey K. Randolph. You'll never give me a cent. I forged his check for the last $5,000 you suckered out of me, and my uncle threw me out.
Oh, that's too bad, ain't it, Mike?
Listen, someday I'll get at least $1 million. He's got it now, but it's held in trust for me. When I get it, I'll pay you double. Triple. All right, Danny. If you need time, we'll give you time. I knew you'd be reasonable. I pride myself on being reasonable. So I'm giving you a whole week in which to pay me that $10,000. Or else, Daddy. Or else.
Good, huh, Danny?
They'll kill me, Barker.
Yeah, my Brogan plays for keeps, but look, if your uncle...
He has absolutely no use for me. I've told you how I forged that check, and then
Yeah, and he tossed you out on your ear. Sink or swim, huh? Yeah. But look, with your life in danger...
My life. That wouldn't matter to Uncle Harvey. He told me to never come to him again, and he meant it.
Boy, you really got yourself sewed in a sack.
There isn't a soul. Wait. Betty.
Who's Betty?
Betty Thompson. Sort of a combination nurse and secretary for Uncle Harvey. She's a nice kid if you like employing you blasted.
Well, what can she do?
Oh, Uncle Harvey dotes on her, and she dotes on me. She's in love with me. Yeah, I know. I'll phone her to make a date.
She's around here?
Yeah, I'm sure of it. Every summer, Uncle Harvey takes a suite at the Grand Beach Hotel. That's only a couple of miles up the beach from here, and she might be followed. We're not able to get away.
The Grand Beach, huh? That's a real ritzy joint. You almost got to have a passport to get inside.
I got it. The hotel's outdoor swimming pool.
What about it?
Well, it's open to the public on Tuesdays. Tomorrow's Tuesday. And Betty could slip down for a swim, and Uncle Harvey wouldn't think anything of it. Here. I'll phone her now and tell her to join me in the pool tomorrow afternoon. Betty!
Oh, Danny!
Pretend not to notice me. Just swim alongside me.
Oh, I thought you were never coming.
Well, I was delayed. Now listen. Climb out of the pool and lie on the tiles. Just casual. I'll come and lie down a couple of feet away. I'll cover my face with a towel. You can talk and not be noticed.
Yes, Daddy. Anything you say.
Go on, climb out now. And don't look back at me. We can talk now, Betty. But don't look at me.
Oh, Daddy, can't I even look at you after all this time?
No, I don't want anyone even to suspect we've been in contact. Glad I'm here?
Oh, you know I am. I've thought about you so much. You said you were going to write.
Uncle Harvey wouldn't have liked it.
But I love you. You're more important to me than he is. Oh, Danny, darling, where have you been?
A lot of places. Right now, I'm making pretty good living. $200 a week.
Danny, that's wonderful. Your uncle...
Oh. What about it?
If he knew, he might forgive you. At least, well, he might.
You know him better than that.
Well, he's terribly stern, I know, but if he thought you turned over a new leaf...
Well, I have. But I'm in trouble.
Danny, no.
I need $10,000. If I don't get it, I'll be killed.
Say that. Please tell me that isn't true.
It is true, and you've got to help me.
I don't want to, but how?
I don't know how.
Danny.
Somehow. Huh?
Don't talk. Pretend to be asleep.
What is it?
Your uncle. He's waving to me from his bedroom window. Quiet. He's gone now.
From his bedroom window?
Yes, the apartment overlooks the pool. It's on the 5th floor, directly above us. See? Up there.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Right above us.
He often watches me when I come swimming.
You see me?
No. The towel hit your face.
Oh, so that's when the old boy hangs out.
The sea air is good for him. You get terrible headaches sometimes.
Yeah, I should weep. Now, listen, I have to have $10,000 inside 6 days.
6 days? Daddy, how can we get it?
From Uncle Harvey. You have to give him some sob story. My life depends on it.
Elizabeth, you are not experienced in the art of lying.
But, Mr. Randolph...
This whole story about needing $10,000 to save your brother in San Francisco from jail, it's a complete fabrication now, isn't it?
No, sir. Jack is desperate, and I'll pay it back out of my salary.
Oh, please, my dear, your story's a lie. The only person you would lie for is Daniel. Am I right?
Yes, Mr. Randolph. Danny needs the money. He needs it terribly.
What difficulty is he in now?
He's some gamblers. They threatened to kill him.
I see.
But he's reformed. Really, he has. If you can only help him out of this trouble...
Elizabeth, you may think me hard-hearted, but I've helped Daniel out of an endless succession of difficulties in the last few years. Each time he swore to reply.
I know, but this time he has. I'm sure of it.
Ah, you love it.
You must help him. Please, say that you will.
There is only one help for Daniel, to solve his own problems and stand on his own feet. Now, these men are simply trying to scare him. Now, it hurts me to say this to you, but for Daniel's own sake, the answer is no.
Who is it?
Just me.
Well,
Hey, it's starting to rain. Radio says we'll have 3 days of rain, maybe more.
it's just dandy.
Hey, Danny, this ain't doing any good, lapping up the booze that way. You know, your timing is way off. Tonight you almost missed the pool. Pretty near give me heart failure.
Now, don't worry about me. I can dive blindfolded on a pitch-dark night. Drunk or sober.
Oh, ease up, Danny. Listen, I passed that Betty kid in the hall, bawling her eyes out. What'd you say to her?
I told her to stop bothering me. I needed $10,000, and she brings me $500.
Well, she loves you, Danny. She's doing her best. That uncle of yours just won't sell a shell out of dime.
No, I gotta sink or swim on my own, he said. If I could only get my hands around his throat and choke him.
All right, Danny, now take it easy.
Yeah, with 3 days left, he tells me to take it easy. $1 million I have coming to me when Uncle Harvey dies, or I reach 28. Only I'll never get it because I won't reach 28. I keep on living and I'll be dead. He'd only die now. If he'd only die like a man his age should.
What is it, Dan? What's the matter?
Just an idea. What a terrific idea. I don't intend to get killed, see? No matter what I have to do, I don't intend to get killed. You get me?
No, I'm not sure I do.
Well, doesn't matter. Just find me the name of the tailor who can make a bellhop uniform in a hurry and keep his mouth shut. Well, how do you like it, Barker? How's it look, huh?
You look just like a bellhop. Hey, what's this say on the pocket? Grand Beach Hotel. Hey, Danny, what is this?
Simple. No, I'm a bellhop at the Grand Beach.
Okay, now ready?
Of course not. And I'm paying a call there tonight, and if anybody notices me, I'm just a bellhop. Nobody to look at twice.
You gonna go see your uncle?
Look, forget everything. Just don't ever spill a word of this.
Oh, not me. I know how to keep my mouth shut.
Hey, listen. Is that thunder?
Yeah. The weather's getting worse. Rain for 2 more days anyway, the radio says.
Huh. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now, listen, I have a date with Betty tonight. I called her up and told her I made a settlement with Brogan.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm to meet her at the Quartet Cafe at 1 a.m. She thinks I'm going to ask her to marry me. Well, I'll be a little late. You'll meet her and keep her there till I get there.
Okay, if you say so.
I'll be there at 10 after. Just keep her there.
Yes, who is it?
A message from Miss Thompson.
From Elizabeth? Just a moment. Let me see you. Oh, yes, one of the bellboys. Well, I like to be certain. All right, come on in.
Thank you, sir.
Now, you say you have a message. Let me have it. Daniel.
Yes, Uncle Harvey.
What the devil are you doing in that bellboy outfit?
I had to see you. I had to talk to you.
Elizabeth already has pleaded your case, and the answer is no.
Uncle Harvey, I need $10,000. They'll kill me if I don't pay it. You understand? They'll kill me, leave me lying in the gutter. Yeah, you'll like that, won't you? You've always said I belong in the gutter.
Please, Daniel, no melodramatics. Possibly someone is trying to scare you. And part of your growing up is to learn not to be so easily scared.
I am scared. I'm dying. For the last time, Uncle Harvey, will you let me have $10,000 of my own money to save my life?
I'm sorry. I cannot go back on the principles that I live by.
You have to die by them, too.
Well, a gun.
And loaded and silenced.
Don't be a fool. Now, surely you know you can't kill me, if that's what you plan.
I have $1 million coming to me, and I can only collect it now if you die. Well, I need it. So you're going to die, Uncle Harvey.
Daniel, you're being absurd as well as melodramatic.
You always had a low opinion of me. If you had more faith in me, maybe I'd have amounted to something. But did you ever think I'd get down to murder, huh?
Daniel, you're out of your mind. If you harm me, all the motive will point to you. You'll be electrocuted.
Oh, no. Because you're going to commit suicide. You're going to hang yourself with your dressing gown cord.
No one will believe that.
Oh, yes, you've had a lot of bad headaches. That's reason enough. Besides, they'll have to believe it. Even Betty. See, the door will be locked on the inside, and the chain will be in place, and the door will be bolted, proving you had to be alone so no one could possibly have killed you but yourself.
How do you propose to manage that?
When you know, Uncle, you'll be dead. Harvey. How quietly you hang. Perfect model of a gentleman's suicide. The door. Locked and bolted on the inside. Chair under your feet. Kicked over to keep up appearances. Oh, yes, your bedside clock. And set it ahead half an hour and break it on the floor. There. Shift the chair. Knocked against the dresser and the clock fell. You died at 1:30. When I'll be drinking with Betty. Asking her to marry me. The perfect alibi. To keep her from being suspicious. Now for the graceful exit. Just open the window. Still raining. Good. No one will be around on a night like this. Now, out on the window ledge. That's it. Close the window tight behind me. Now for the big dive. $1 million dive. The pool directly below me. I could see it there, about 15 feet out, 8 feet deep. Child's play for Danny King, the diving wonder. Just a little push upward to clear the tiles, nothing to it. And Uncle Harvey is left behind, dead in a locked room. And I'm going for this flash of lightning. Shield my eyes if I could be thrown off balance. Goodbye, Uncle Harvey. $1 million. Here comes Danny.
Hey, Betty, you'll wear out that coffee cup.
Oh, I'm still stirring it. I guess I'm worried about Danny. He's so late.
He's fine. You said he'd be a little late.
Oh, I'm so glad he's got that business with those awful gamblers straightened out. I do love him so. I know he's going to be different after this.
Sure he is. He's going to be all right.
His uncle just misjudged him, that's all. Danny's a fine person, really. But it's after 1:30 and he isn't here yet. Oh, I'm being silly. I'll put some lipstick on. I must have chewed it all off by now.
Hey, you dropped this piece of paper out of your purse.
Paper? Let's see. Oh, it's nothing important. It's just a notice from the management of the hotel. It was in our box. It only says that the management is taking advantage of the bad weather to repair the swimming pool. It drained all the water out this afternoon and closed it until further notice.
Suspense. You've been listening to The Big Dive, written for Suspense by John West. Heard in tonight's story were Leon Janney as Danny King, Rosemary Rice as Betty, Sam Gray as Mike Brogan, Mandel Kramer as Charlie, Ralph Bell as the Barker, and Bill Smith as Uncle Horace. Listen again next week when we return with Night Ferry to Paris by William N. Robeson. Another tale well calculated to keep you in.
And now, another tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Night Ferry to Paris by William N. Robeson.
In the great smoky cavern of Waterloo Station in London, there shines a bright and tiny beacon. A neon sign in gayest red which reads, Night Ferry to Paris. Beneath the sign is a door. You enter, you go through customs. You board your train, you go to sleep. And next morning, when you wake up, you're in the Gare du Nord in Paris. It's that simple. Or it's supposed to be.
That is Ferry. Right this way, Governor.
Oh, thank you.
I beg your pardon?
Yes?
You're taking the night ferry to Paris.
Yes.
Do you mind? Could I tag along?
Why, sure.
You see, I'm all alone, and it scares me traveling alone. My uncle's meeting me in Paris in the morning.
Oh, don't you worry. I'll take care of you. Here, let me carry that case.
Oh, no, it's not heavy.
You got the family jewels in there?
No, nothing like that. But you can carry my coat.
Okay.
Thank you.
They're right through here, miss. Your bags are ready to be inspected.
Thank you.
For a girl who was scared and helpless, she certainly commanded service, but then why not? Who wouldn't be willing to do practically anything for the reward of that warm, golden smile?
How much money are you carrying, miss?
Money? Oh, I haven't any money. My husband carries the money.
Husband? Oh, my heart sank. And then I saw she was pointing at me. Before I could catch my breath, the customs officer was reaching for my passport.
Thank you, sir. But see here, ma'am. This gentleman's name is different.
Well, you see, we've gotten married since these passports were issued.
Oh, newlyweds. Yeah, sort of honeymoon, what?
Sort of.
Well, there's no use bothering you with a lot of silly questions. On your way, then.
And good luck to you both.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you're very kind. Thank you so much.
Mouth agape, I followed this self-possessed, newly acquired wife aboard the train and disposed of the attending porter as quickly as I could.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Yes. Pull the compartment door shut tightly as you leave.
Yes, sir.
Now, my dear young lady, will you kindly tell me what's the big idea?
What big idea?
Of identifying me to the customs as your husband.
Well, it's a simplified thing.
What thing? Smuggling vast sums of money out of England, perhaps?
No, silly. Just, well, it's just the first thing that popped into my mind.
Well, you know, you could get into a lot of trouble lying to the customs.
Well, you lied, too.
What?
Sure you did. You said we'd gotten married since our passports were issued.
Well, I just felt I couldn't let you down.
Couldn't you?
No.
I knew you were going to do from the first time I laid eyes on you in the station.
Do what? Anything you say?
Oh, of course not, but you were sweet to carry my coat for me and to help when that silly man started asking tiresome questions.
You know, if you weren't so pretty and so nuts, I'd think you were trying to get away with something.
Here we go.
Seems so.
You heard something? Here I am, deeply indebted to you, and I don't even know your name.
Why, yes, and since I'm your publicly acknowledged husband, you ought to know it. It's Morris. Tom Morris.
Could be worse. Susan Morris. I like it.
Hi, Susan.
Hi, Tom. Want to do me one more favor?
Oh, sure.
Change places with me.
You mean you like to ride backwards?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, you are not. Tell me, where you from?
From? Oh, you saw my passport.
Well, yes, I know, but what part of the state?
Oh, California.
No kidding. What part?
San Francisco.
Well, what do you know? Small world department.
Are you from San Francisco?
No, Sausalito.
Sausalito? Oh, yes, just across the Golden Gate from San Francisco in Marin County.
You sound like a guidebook.
Do I? That's what comes of traveling around so much. I haven't read anything but guidebooks for the last month and a half.
Have a cigarette?
Yes, thanks.
Light?
What the? Oh, goodness. Look, in the cushion behind you where it's torn hole.
If I hadn't leaned forward to give you a light.
Yes, Tom.
Why? Why would anybody want to shoot me?
I don't know. Why would they, Tom?
Wait a minute. You were sitting here. You asked me to change places, Susan. Why would anybody want to shoot you? Something about this girl that didn't add up. Whatever it wasn't helpful. And anybody in his right mind would have gotten out of there fast. But there was really nowhere to go on board the night train to Paris. And furthermore, she was one of the most enchanting and desirable femme fatales I ever hoped to meet. Well, anyway, after the assassin's bullet broke the window in her compartment, we moved to mine, agreeing to keep the matter to ourselves.
After all, the train man might ask questions.
Yeah, we aren't exactly in a position to answer them, are we?
I have nothing to hide.
But quite a bit to explain.
Tom, you are becoming tiresome.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you've got to admit.
I don't have to admit anything. If you're going to be this way, you can go back to your compartment and sleep.
You seem to forget that was your compartment where I nearly met an untimely end. We are now in my compartment.
You wouldn't throw me out.
Well, I might. I'd like to get a little sleep.
Oh, you're horrid.
Yeah, I know. I'm also sleepy. Oh, I wish they'd stop bumping these cars all over the place.
I think you're a very dreary traveling companion.
Oh, yeah? Well, just remember, you picked me up.
I picked you up.
Well, it certainly wasn't my idea.
Sorry.
Not really. Hey, did you feel that?
What?
This car rolled just then like a boat. Railway cars aren't supposed to do that.
Oh, this one is. They must have switched us onto the ferry.
Oh.
Come on, let's go out on deck.
further off from England, the nearer is to France. Then turn not pale, beloved snail, but come and join the dance.
What are you talking about?
Alice in Wonderland, the Mock Turtle song, you remember? Will you, won't you, will you join the dance?
Utter nonsense.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Oh, don't you approve of Alice in Wonderland?
Not for the man who is masquerading as my husband.
Very well, we'll be serious. Look out there, toward that flashing buoy. What's that remind you of?
Remind me? Nothing. What?
Well, reminds me of the view from the Sausalito Ferry.
Sausalito Ferry? There's no ferry to Sausalito.
Well, not now, but there was. Say, when did you leave home?
Frisco? 2 months ago. Why?
Nothing.
What is it, Tom?
Oh, what difference does it make? I'm going to turn in.
No, I must know.
Well, look, when a guy begins to fall for a girl a little bit, it hurts to find out that she's a phony, that's all.
Who's the guy, Tom?
Me.
And girl?
You.
And why do you think she's a phony?
Now listen, Susan, or whatever your name is, wherever you come from, you don't come from San Francisco. San Franciscans would rather be condemned to live in Los Angeles than call their city Frisco. And there isn't a man, woman, or child alive in the Bay Area who didn't shed a tear when the last of the ferries, the Sausalito Ferry, was shut down a few years ago. Oh, no, Susan. I'm sure you don't come from San Francisco. As a matter of fact, you might not even be an American. Yeah, now that I come to think of it, that business in Waterloo Station, calling me your husband and all, could that be because you didn't want them to look too carefully at your passport? And making me carry your coat. What's in that coat, huh, Susan? Huh? You won't talk, huh? You know what I think you are, Susan? I think you're
a spy, monsieur.
What?
No, Mademoiselle Suzanne is not so adept. No, she is not a spy, merely a courier, a cutout, an apprentice spy. And now, quel dommage, she may not live long enough to become anything.
All right, who are you?
You notice Mademoiselle Suzanne does not ask. Tell your friend who we are, petite Suzanne.
I never saw you before in my life. Either of you.
But you do know who we are.
I know nothing.
Bravo, bravo. Then, monsieur, permit me. I am Anton, and my rather large companion holding the gun is Raoul. The identity of our employer is of no consequence to you, but I think you may wish to know that our assignment is to relieve Mademoiselle Suzanne of a certain small package she carries.
You are mistaken. I carry nothing on me.
On you or in you, we will find it.
No, I swear
to
you.
Look, this is nuts. Now just put down that gun and stop playing cloak and dagger.
We are not playing, monsieur. Raoul.
Let go of my throat. I'll report this to the captain.
Go on. Shout your head off. In this wind, he'll never hear you. Provoke Raoul, and he'll shoot you, monsieur, and dump you over the side. No one will know. The gun has a silencer. C'est assez, Raoul.
I don't believe it. I don't believe I'm hearing all this. Susan, it's not true, is it?
I don't know what they're talking about.
Monsieur, you have given us a great deal of trouble, and we want no more of it. Of course, we realize that you are innocently involved in this matter. Mademoiselle Suzanne attached herself to you in Waterloo Station the moment she realized we were on her tail.
That's not so.
You know it is. Why deny it? And you are right, monsieur, in surmising that she identified you as her husband as a diversionary tactic to take attention away from her counterfeit passport.
And the shot that was fired through the train window?
Oh, yes. That was intended for Mademoiselle. Had it dispatched her as planned, we would already have obtained what we are after and have left the train before her body would have been discovered. We must get what we came after, and we will if we have to drop Mademoiselle over the side.
Now, wait a minute.
I was afraid you would not be sympathetic with our ends or our means.
And you were right.
So we will have to place you hors de combat. Eh bien, Raoul, it's yours.
Now, look, you...
Go! Please! Oh, please, he's done nothing!
Gently, Raoul, don't you... Ne le tuez pas, hein? Just put him to sleep.
travel did put me to sleep, deeply, and for how long, I don't know. I dreamed sweet dreams of Susan, the dream in which I was a hero, and she was covering me with the kisses which are a hero's reward. Excepting her voice sounded different, and her kisses were extraordinarily moist. And slowly I realized that my admirer was a French poodle, and I was slumped in the corner of the baggage car. And the car was no longer rolling and pitching, but rattling along on its rails, as a well-ordered train should, and I came awake with a start. If the train was on rail, then we were ashore and in France. And maybe Susan was somewhere back there beneath the dark waters of the English Channel. I had to find out. I had to know. I gave my poodle pal a farewell pat and started back through the train. The going was rough, but unimpeded, until I got to my car. And here, my progress was stopped by a half-awake plane attendant.
Monsieur searches for something?
Yeah, my compartment.
Which one is that, monsieur?
302.
Compartment 302 is occupied.
Huh? By a young lady?
Yes. And two gentlemen.
Do they have tickets?
Did not ask. The hour it was late.
Well, I do have a ticket, so let me buy, please.
Monsieur, may I ask, if you have a ticket, where have you been sleeping?
You won't believe this, pal, but I'll tell you anyway, in the baggage car.
But this is highly irregular.
Yes, it is indeed, and uncomfortable. Now let me pass. I've got to get to my compartment.
But, monsieur, it is occupied. I have several others which are free.
Look, I want to get into 302.
But you will disturb the occupant.
I doubt it. Come along with me. I may need you in case we run into any more irregularities. The puzzled train attendant followed me down the dark and silent corridor. Outside 302, we paused. For a moment, there was no sound from within. And then I heard the window being opened and Anton's voice.
All right, mademoiselle, I give you one more chance. You tell me where that packet is, or I will throw you out the window.
No, I've told you over and over, I don't have it. You've searched my things, you haven't found it. I tell you again, I don't have it.
And you will tell us where it is. Tell us, mademoiselle. Tell us. Go ahead, Raoul. Throw her out.
No!
I slid the door open before Raoul could reach Susan. The big gunman whirled toward me and fired. But I was already diving for his ankles in a low tackle. I connected and heaved upward, and Raoul toppled backwards out of the window. I snatched up the gun he dropped and covered Anton.
Oh, Tom.
Monsieur. Now, you said you had some vacant compartments. How about locking up this gentleman in one of them?
But why?
This man is a dangerous spy who has just attempted to commit murder on your train. I insist that you lock him up and turn him over to the authorities when we arrive in Paris.
I regret I cannot comply with your request, monsieur. By what authority? How do I know?
Oh, listen to me. Look, have you had any windows broken on your train tonight?
Why, yes, in the next car, in compartment A.
Exactly, and this is the man who was responsible for it being broken.
Monsieur, what about this? I deny.
Well, I will prove it when we get to Paris. I need not remind you, my friend, that willful destruction or breakage of state property is a crime, and the railway cars of the chemin de fer d'État are state property. Therefore, this man is guilty of a crime against the state.
You have reason, monsieur, but he denies it.
Ah, yes, and I accuse him of it. You'd better not take a chance, my friend. You'd better let the Sûreté decide this.
Yes, I suppose you are right. Come along, monsieur.
What?
It is my regrettable duty to lock you up.
Here, take this gun and use it if he tries anything funny.
Merci, monsieur. Come along, you.
Thank you, Tom. You saved my life.
Not at all. Any time.
Don't you need that gun to protect yourself from me?
Well, I don't think so. You're dangerous, all right, but a gun is no protection. The only defense in a situation like this is attack. Come here.
What are you going to do, Tom?
Oh, just checking up on a dream. Oh, just as I thought. The real thing's better than the dream.
Tom, what are you talking about?
Later, honey. For now, just relax. The rest of the trip was uneventful, if that's the proper description for a lovely, tousled head on one shoulder. The Paris night ferry finally ground to a stop in the Gare du Nord. The man who met Susan and whom she addressed as her uncle took over the details of turning over her assailant to the police. And finally, Susan and Uncle and I were seated in the quiet corner of a sidewalk cafe, catching up over some breakfast croissant and cafe au lait.
Tom is very difficult, Uncle. He won't believe a word I tell him.
That's right, monsieur. She claims she lives in San Francisco. I don't believe her. She says she's an American. I don't believe her. She says you are her uncle, and I beg your pardon, but I don't believe that either.
Well, my dear Suzanne, what a pity. Your very first assignment and your cover story is shot full of holes. You nearly get yourself killed, and you have failed to deliver the package with which you were entrusted. I'm afraid you will never make a successful agent for our country.
Uncle, security.
Security? No, our friend Tom has guessed too much already, thanks to your blundering.
I did not blunder. Maybe I did not know everything I should about San Francisco, but you cannot say I did not deliver the goods.
I have not received them.
You will. Tom, hand me your trench coat, please.
What?
Here is the packet, Uncle. Zipped into the lining of Tom's trench coat for safety.
Oh, no, you mean... Look, if they knew, I could have...
That's right. You could have been killed.
Oh. And you wouldn't have cared?
Well, not then. You see, this packet originally was in my coat.
And I carried it aboard the train?
That's right.
Well, I take it back, my dear. You have done well. It's a pity, however, we cannot avail ourselves of your services in the future. But that, of course, is now impossible since Tom knows your identity.
Oh, that's all right, Uncle. I have been becoming less and less interested in the career of a lady spy. I'm looking forward to Tom showing me San Francisco, if he will.
Well, I don't know. I'd like to, but is it safe?
Suspense. You've been listening to Night Ferry to Paris, written for Suspense by William N. Robeson. Heard in tonight's story were William Redfield as Tom, Elaine Ross as Susan, Robert Dryden as Anton, Guy Recht as the train attendant, Brett Morrison as Uncle, and Frank Milano as Raoul. Listen again next week when we return with Truck Stop by Peter Fernandez. Another
tale well calculated to keep you in suspense.
The fortune is there, and they'll kill to get it. Truck Stop. Written for Suspense by Peter Fernandez.
Hey, Maggie, what do I owe you for the coffee and vanish?
Benno, you should know by now you've been stopping in here almost every night for months. Just leave how much you think it is.
Sure, I know. I just wanted to have a word with you.
Oh? Anything wrong, Benno?
Wrong? Oh, no, ma'am. Everything's right. Right as gold, huh?
Yeah, you say so. Well, I might as well clear off the counter.
Looks like he's company again tonight, huh?
What do you mean?
Your boyfriend. 10 minutes after midnight, that armored truck of his rolls in about 12:15, huh?
Yeah, that's right. But how'd you know tonight was one of his regular stops?
Well, you kidding, Maggie, with you all dolled up?
Now, look okay, huh?
Maggie's a lucky guy. You know what I'd do if I was him?
Tell me, Benno.
I'd ask you to come along in that truck of his. You and maybe a couple of $100,000. We'd have a time, wouldn't we?
Well, we might, Benno, before the police caught up with us.
I'm smart, see. They'd never catch us, Maggie.
Benno.
Yeah. Well, I better get rolling before your boyfriend comes in and finds we've been making plans behind his back.
Okay, see you.
Yeah.
Benno, get in.
Yep. Yes, sir. What time is it?
12:15.
The truck should be coming in now.
Yeah, where is it, Benno?
It'll be coming every night for 6 weeks. I've been casing this. It time's out, I swear.
Then where's the truck?
Will you wait?
Okay. I don't hear from you for 2 years, ever since Joliet. Now this.
An armored truck job of all things. An armored truck. I tell you, if we start small, something easy. No, but you got to have an armored truck.
Will you shut up? Now, just look. Coming up the highway now. The turnblinker's on. That's it, so. That's $200,000 minimum.
Sure. And 2 guards and a driver, all behind bulletproof glass and 3/4-inch heavy steel. How are we going to get into an armored truck like that, then, with a can opener?
You just watch. Just watch everything, and I'll show you just how 2 nights from tonight, when they stop at that diner the next time, we're going to get that truck. Oh, where's them binoculars?
Yeah.
Okay, the truck stopped. Yeah, just keep watching through them binoculars. Maybe you'll see for yourself how we're going to do it.
Stiff. That's a long haul from Greenville to here. Maggie's coffee better be good.
And when hasn't it been? But wait till I give her this before you even order.
Ring?
Uh-huh.
Really gonna ask you tonight?
What do you think I brought it today for? I don't want some other guy trying to grab Maggie before I can stake a claim.
Well, good luck, son. She's quite a gal. Do you want me to wait out here until you ask her?
No. Come on in. We're used to having you around on these stops. You're part of the family.
Well, okay. Hello, Maggie.
Hello, Frank.
Hiya, honey.
Charlie, don't come behind this counter. The boss sees us.
Oh, by midnight, old man Duncan's fast asleep. What'd he be doing out here, huh? Give me a kiss.
Charlie,
Maggie, I've got something for you. I hope you'll like it. The store said they'd exchange it if you don't.
Nothing for... Hey, you got a real romantic look in your eyes, Charlie.
Maybe I do, Maggie.
Now, wait. Let me give Frank his coffee and take Simmons' soup out to him.
But, Maggie, I want to...
That's okay. We can wait, Maggie.
No, I'd rather do it this way, Frank. I think maybe Charlie's going to ask me to marry him, and this will give me a minute to think up my answer, you see? Excuse me, Charlie?
Sure, honey. Take your time. I want you to give it as much thought as you need.
Would you like a Danish with your coffee tonight, Frank?
With my waistline? No thanks, Maggie.
Okay. Here's yours, Frank. Knowing you were coming in any minute, I got Simmons' bouillon cubes ready in the cup here, so I'll just pour the hot water over them.
I notice your hand's shaking, Maggie. Does the thought of getting married scare you?
You kidding? Listen, I'm 23 years old, Charlie, and I want to get married.
Maggie, does that mean
It means give me a minute to bring Simmons his soup, and then we can talk, okay?
Okay, but will you hurry up, honey?
There we are. My soup's ready. Boy, you'd think he'd get tired of this stuff.
He probably is by now. He's been drinking bouillon ever since I met him years ago. But a doctor once told him beef bouillon's the best thing in the world for him.
Honey, we got a schedule.
Okay, I'm on my way. Just hold on to that ring and don't change your mind before I get back.
See, Zell, just like I said, there she comes out of the diner.
Yeah, I got her on the glasses.
She's carrying a cup and saucer, ain't she?
Yeah, I can see them in her hand.
All right, now you watch her serving to the guard that's got to stay in the back of the truck.
What good that does? The guy's still behind that steel wall. The only way to get at him and get the dough is to either blast our way in or roll that truck over using a acetylene torch right up to...
What's it there doing now?
She's knocking on the steel-plated back door. Hey, that's how, huh? She gets the guy to open the door, then we move in, huh?
That's how, Sal. That's how.
Simmons, it's me, Maggie.
Evening, Maggie.
Here's your soup, Simmons.
Oh, thanks. How are you, Maggie?
Oh, I'm happy. Tonight I'm very, very happy.
Oh, Charlie's proposed, huh? Well, it took the big boy long enough to get up to that.
No, he hasn't yet, Simmons, but as soon as I go back in there, he's going to give me an engagement ring.
Well, then you go ahead, then, girl. Don't wait for me to finish this soup. You go on in there and accept the man. That is, if you want to.
Oh, I want to, all right. I'll see you in a few minutes, Simmons.
Yeah, you bet. And Maggie, congratulations in advance. There it is, though. There it is, just like I said. The door's open and the loot's sitting right in there.
So why don't we hit it tonight, right now, Ben? What are we waiting?
We're waiting till I say we're going to hit. I wanted you to see the whole setup, know just how and what minute we hit it.
Okay, so now I know. So now I want to grab that dough while I'm grabbing's good. When, Ben, when?
On their next regular run. That won't be so long to wait. We'll hit that truck 2 nights from tonight.
Oh, 2 whole days from now?
I told you. I've been planning this for 6 weeks, and I ain't going to have you louse it up. Now, we play this real safe. The night after next is when?
The night after next. Okay, Benno, you're the boss. Night after next it is.
In just a moment, we will return for the second act of Suspense.
So we're coming to the diner now.
Yeah, I see the neon blinking up ahead.
Okay, now remember, stay in the kitchen. Don't you come out for nothing unless I tell you to come out.
Yeah.
And if that guard in the truck spots what's going on, he'll never open up for us.
We've been over this 100 times already.
I just want to be sure you got it straight. That's it. Park under these trees. I'll kill the lights.
Oh, look at that place, will you, Benno? 2 trailer trucks, a carload of teenagers. How are we going to pull this off with them?
Yeah, they're clearing out, you see. Business comes and goes. Chances are it'll be empty by the time our baby pulls in.
I hope you're right. Hey, that other trucker's leaving out, too.
All right, now just remember, we don't start shooting unless we got her.
I know.
Just make sure you know. I heard how you loused up that Zanesville job 8 years ago with your quick trigger.
All right. Go smooth and behave.
All right, I'm going in now. And when you see her serving me my coffee, and not until then, you sneak in the back through the kitchen.
I told you, I know.
Just remember.
Good luck, Benno.
Yeah. The way I figure this setup, we might not even need luck.
You kids want anything else?
No, that'll be all, Maggie. How much we owe you?
Well, for a soda pop's 40 cents.
Here's $50. Keep the change.
Oh, thanks, Jimmy.
I'll see you. Come on, fellas.
Hey, bet you watch where you're going.
Sorry, Dad.
Stupid bunch of kids.
Hello, Benno. Right on time, I see.
Yeah, right on time. Give me a cup of coffee and a slice of that pie there, huh?
Coming right up.
Well, you're dressed fit to kill, Maggie. Boyfriend stopping here tonight, huh?
Boyfriend, nothing. Get a look at this, Benno.
Wow, a ring. Good for you.
Well, here's your coffee.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, finally managed to hook the guy.
Huh? Now, if you could just hook a few of them thousands he hauls in his truck, you'd really have it made, huh?
Charlie and me don't need money like that. We'll work for what we get. Here's your pie. Peach.
Yeah, thanks. What's that?
Hey, some guy just came into the kitchen. I never saw him before.
Oh, forget him, Maggie.
Hey, what do you want?
Forget him, Maggie. Just, come here, clean up this counter from them customers that just left, huh?
If my boss comes in and finds some guy in the kitchen...
Your boss is home asleep, and you know it. Everything okay back there, Zell?
Hey.
Yeah, Benno, I can cover the whole joint through this little window.
Good. Now stay back there out of sight.
You're together, Benno, you and him?
That's the setup, Maggie. Now you just stay behind that counter and do your work
What's
like
going on? What are you up to, anyway?
What do you think, Maggie? It's a stick-up. That's what it is.
Stick up? Oh, come on, you're kidding.
Just look through that window at Zell. You see what he's holding?
A gun?
A gun. Now, I don't want nobody pulling into the parking lot and see what's going on, so just act normal, huh? And just remember, Zell's got his gun on you. One wrong move and you're dead, Maggie. There won't be no wedding or nothing.
But Mr. Duncan, my boss, he left orders in case of a stick-up. He said just to give you the money.
What money? The lousy few bucks you got in that cash register, keep it.
But you just
We're
said...
after the truck.
The truck? You mean Charlie's truck?
That's the one.
They won't let you get near it.
What time is it, Benno?
And 1:15 exact. They'll be pulling in any minute. Now, you just listen, Maggie, and listen real careful. When they get here, when the driver and your boyfriend come in here, and when they're serving the guy in the truck, I'm going to drop this in it.
You're going to poison him?
Will you just shut up and listen? Now, this here pill will only knock him out. And when you serve him, he's got to unlock the door into the truck. And this will make sure he leaves it unlocked.
Benno, it's done.
Okay. Now, stop mopping the counter, Maggie, and act like nothing's wrong. That's better. Just remember, Zella, Neil, start shooting if anything goes
Please
wrong.
listen.
Mark the counter. Go on.
Oh, Maggie.
Hiya, honey.
Charlie, don't come back here.
Are you kidding? Old man Duncan's home sleeping. He won't know, and I want a kiss from my future wife right now.
Charlie, sit down, please.
Hey, what's the matter with you tonight, honey? I thought you'd be real glad to see me, but... Is it because that guy's sitting there? What difference does it make if a stranger sees us? We're official now. Well, what then?
I can't tell you.
Oh, okay, but I don't
Go
know
on the
what...
counter and sit down, Charlie.
Yeah, all right, Maggie, but at least you owe me some kind of explanation. I mean, after all, I committed...
Maggie, I'll take a cup of coffee.
Okay, Frank.
And the Danish tonight. Never mind my diet. I'm starved.
Coming right up, Frank.
And, Simmons in the truck, Maggie. Don't forget Simmons.
No, I won't. Have I ever? It's your coffee, Frank. And the Danish.
Okay, now that I'm sitting, Maggie, will you tell me what's bothering you? Hey, you haven't changed your mind, have you? If there's some other guy...
I can't tell you right now, Charlie. I'll bring this to Simmons.
Simmons? Oh, you're taking that outside. Well, good. I'll walk with you so as we can talk. Because I want to find out what suddenly come between you.
No, Charlie, you stay right here.
No, let's get this straightened out. Come
Charlie,
on.
Sit down, Charlie.
Huh? What did you say?
I said sit down.
What business is it of yours?
Just take a look through that window into the kitchen and then sit down and shut up.
Hey.
What is it, Charlie?
Just both of you stay right where you are.
There's a guy in the kitchen, Frank. He's covering this with a submachine gun.
Yeah, okay.
And if you look in my lap here, I'm holding this pistol so the guy in the truck can't see it.
What do you guys want?
You know what we want.
Well, you better call her off. Simmons won't open up for you.
He'll open up for her. We got it all arranged, right,
Charlie,
Maggie?
I tried to stop him, but they wouldn't.
Bring that cup and saucer over here to me, Maggie.
I changed my mind. I won't do it.
I'm warning you, Maggie.
Listen, Maggie, what happens to us in that truck is no concern of yours. Do just what he says.
I don't need no help from you, Charlie. Bring in a cup and saucer.
Okay, then. Here.
Okay. I'll just drop this into it. There.
Charlie, I'm sorry. I tried to make them change their
Now
mind.
take that out to the guy in the truck, just like usual. And Maggie, remember this. You say more than a couple of usual words to him, and we ain't going to wait to see what happens. We blow these two guys' brains out.
Yeah, I won't say anything I shouldn't. I promise.
Okay. What are you waiting for?
Maggie, when you get out there, get in that truck with Simmons. Tell him to lock it up. You'll be safe inside.
One wrong move out there, Maggie, and we kill Loverboy. You keeping and thinking of that out there.
Listen to me, Maggie. Running a fat armored truck is our job. That's the chance we take.
If I don't do as he says, he'll kill you, Charlie.
But you got to think of yourself.
She's got to think of you, Charlie. She loves you.
Forget that, Maggie.
If I do as he says, then nothing will happen to you, Charlie.
Don't you believe that, honey? If they can get into that truck, they'll shoot all of us. They'll have no witnesses.
Will you shut up, Mac?
Come on, make me. You and your friends start shooting now, and Simmons will know, and you'll never get into that truck. Well, come on, let's get it over with. Maggie!
She went out to Simmons. She's going through with it.
I told you. She loves you. She'll do what she's supposed to.
Charlie, if we rush him, we might have a chance.
We wouldn't get 2 feet. That guy in the kitchen would nail us.
That's right, both of you. But just keep sitting right there like nothing's wrong. There. She's at the truck. So now we just wait.
In just a moment, we will return for the concluding act of Suspense.
Simmons? It's me, Maggie.
How are you, Maggie?
Fine. Here.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Maggie. Don't go yet. Tell me first if you set a date for the wedding yet.
No. Simmons, I gotta get back inside.
What's the matter with you, Maggie?
Nothing at all. It's just that, there's another customer and I gotta get back to him. Excuse me. Benno, I swear I didn't say anything about you.
I didn't think you would. But get behind that counter.
She did what you wanted. Now you can let her go.
Let it go. Where, to warn the cops? She's in this all the way.
What are we supposed to do now?
We wait just a little more. That stuff I put in this cup works fast. 30 seconds maybe, but we gotta be sure. We'll give it a minute.
You won't get far with that money. There'll be roadblocks.
Benno.
What?
Let's go.
All right. I told you we ain't rushing this, and I meant it.
All right, so wait a few more seconds, but no more than that.
It's my fault, Frank. Talking you guys into breaking the rules, stopping here every time we made the run.
You're in love. But we didn't have to stop. We're just as much to blame, Simmons and me.
Come on out, Benno.
All right, then, come on.
No, Frank, as soon as he comes out of that door, we rush him.
No, you don't. That's it. Just freeze, both of you.
I got him covered, too, Benno.
You guys are lucky I didn't pull this trigger just
I'm warning
you. You ain't no spot to warn nobody. But keep them covered, Zoe, till I get inside the back of that truck and give you the okay. And you know what to do.
Yeah, I know. You hear that, Maggie? You should have gotten in the back of that truck with Simmons. Now it's too late.
Maybe it isn't, Charlie.
He's going to kill us. You heard him.
Suppose Simmons knows what's going on. Suppose he's just waiting out there for Benno to reach the truck.
Yeah, but how could he know, Maggie? Did you tell him?
No, but he might know anyhow. He just might.
What are you talking about?
He's reached the back of the truck out there. And he's swinging the door open.
Hey. Come on, Frank. Got it.
Yes, and him, too. He's out cold. Are you all right, Maggie?
Yeah, I'm just kind of shaky, I guess.
Simmons got the other guy. He's flashing a torch on him.
Maggie, how could Simmons have known? Did you warn him after all?
Charlie, I was afraid to say anything to him. I just brought him that cup of tea with the pill in it.
And how in blazes did he find out these guys were sticking us up?
Wait a minute. Tea? Maggie, did you say you brought Simmons a cup of tea?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said.
And Simmons expected his bullion as usual. He hates tea.
Sure. He wouldn't touch the stuff. And he knew you wouldn't make a mistake like that, Maggie.
Benno told me he'd been watching this place and planning the robbery for months, but in all that time, I guess he forgot to notice what I served. Oh, Charlie. Charlie, if he'd ever found out.
What matters now, honey, is he didn't. Frank, will you call the police?
Yeah, sure.
We'll have to forget our schedule tonight, at least till the cops make out their reports.
Listen, while we're waiting, let me get you fresh cups of coffee. Those must be cold by now.
Okay, if you feel up to it, Maggie.
Oh, are you kidding? For a few minutes there, I was scared. Really scared that I'd never have the pleasure of waiting on you ever again, but 2 coffees coming right up.
Suspense.
You've been listening to Truck Stop, written for Suspense by Peter Fernandez. Heard in tonight's story were Terry Keene as Maggie, Larry Haynes as Benno, Mandel Kramer as Zell, Frank Butler as Charlie, Dan Ocko as Frank, and Bob Reddick as Simmons. Listen again next week when we return with another tale well calculated to keep you in